Feels so nice. Congratulations to BTS and ARMY for winning 3 awards at American Music Awards, AMAs, in 2026. Artist of the Year, Song of the Summer with Swim, and Best Male K-pop Artist. Now, what did BTS do to celebrate right afterwards? They turned on the Weverse live stream to communicate with ARMYs for over 30 minutes. So in this video, I will translate what these guys said in English and provide context as needed here and there. And let me try my best to translate what they said as they talk over each other as always. Here we go. 석진 immediately says 축하드립니다, congratulations, and clapping. And Jimin, he's acting as if he's presenting an award. AMA goes to... Jungkook pointing out, 근데 아직 안 들어오셨을 거 아니야. But ARMYs probably haven't come in yet. 우리 아미 상 받았습니다. Our army, you guys have won awards. Or the subject could be both we or you. 우리 아미 상 받았습니다. Our army, we won awards. Or our army, you won awards. And therefore, the title of the Weverse is the live stream is the same. 우리 아미 상 받았네. Our armies, we won awards. And actually, yeah, Jimin here says 이건 진짜 아미 여러분들이 한 거예요. This one is really yours, army. It truly belongs to all of you. And what is impressive and what is so adorable is that Jimin posted this on Weverse community after they about 2 hours after they did a Weverse live stream. And see what he did. This is an award, and he replaced the name BTS with ARMY, and the American Music Award goes to ARMY Artist of the Year. Isn't that so? Yeah, such it's wonderful. All right, let's go back to the Weverse live stream.
이상하네. 지금 라이브 켜졌나? 네, 켰습니다.
라이브 켜졌나? Suga making sure that Weverse live stream is working fine.
네,
새로 고침. They're trying to click refresh to check whether Weverse live stream is on. 켜졌어. It's now on.
자, 5년, 저 여러분? 저 5년 만에 온 거예요.
여러분, 우리 5년 만에 온 거예요. Okay, guys, we are here for the first time in 5 years. 남준 says.
요즘 비교 사진 또 뜨더라고요. 그 뭐냐 보니까
뭐라냐?
There have been some comparison photos going around lately. jhope says.
저는 노란색 입고 있더라고요.
And RM observed that back then they were all wearing yellow outfits, and yes, they are referring to the butter era. AMAs 2021 when they killed it and swept at the award show while wearing all yellow outfits. And Jungkook says, yeah, 버터라서 그런 거 아니야? That was because it was the butter era.
진짜 뭐 많이 했어요.
Yeah, we really did a lot back then. 진짜 뭐 많이 했어요, jhope says.
아니 근데
버터가 5년 전이라고? Wait, butter was 5 years ago? Jin is surprised.
AMA 처음 왔을 때는 그 아마 DNA
2017년.
But I think our first time at the AMAs, it was during DNA era. 2018년, 2018.
그때는 DNA랑 페이스클럽이랑.
So back then it was DNA and Fake Love.
그때 말록달록 해가지고.
And we were so colorful back then in terms of the outfits. Like they were wearing this and they were wearing this.
지금도 난 신기하다.
Jin says, it still feels unreal to me now. And they are talking about the venue. 그때가 MGM이었나? Was that at the MGM back then?
아니요, 저 LA 아니죠. 아, 그때 같은데.
Maybe it was in LA?
여기 같은
It was the same venue, RM says.
라스베가스 아니에요?
Wasn't it all at the Las Vegas?
빌보드가 4개국은 빌보드가
LA.
아니 빌보드가 MGM이었고
Billboard was at the MGM, Suga says.
MGM 확실해.
AMA가 LA 스테이플 센터
맞아요. AMA가 딴데
AMA was in
센터.
여기
아, LA 스테이플 센터.
맞아요.
it was at LA Steve Center.
AMA가 딴데
센터.
센터.
여기 지금 우리 한대 인증 아니에요?
맞아요. 근데 날짜가 좀 달라가지고.
So it was the same venue, but the dates were a bit different. J-Hope points out.
BJ에서 했던 것 같기도 하고 뭘 기억이 잘 안.
I feel like we might have done something at the MGM too. I cannot quite remember. J-Hope says.
근데 상 2개나 받았습니다.
그러니까요.
Jimin, 여러분들 상 2개나 받아왔습니다. We won 2 awards, everyone.
저희
세개 맞.
And immediately the other guys made a correction. It's actually 3 awards.
하나가 방송에 안
베스트
나와가지고.
힙합
One of them wasn't aired on broadcast.
남자 그룹
그룹상
Best male group,
Song of the Summer
Song of the Summer,
왜 아니지?
and Artist of the Year. And yes, here's the image that really captures all the awards that they won. Major awards. So once again, congratulations.
아, 여름송.
여름송, Song of the Summer.
여름송 기분 어때요? 여름송.
Song of the Summer, how does it feel, everyone?
여름송 저는 사실 스윙에 대해서 제가 한번 얘기하고 싶긴 했어요. 저는 스윙을 정말 좋아하거든요.
RM says, actually, I've been wanting to talk about the song Swim for a while. I really love Swim.
아, 네.
시간이 지날수록 진가가 바랄 것이다.
시간이 지날수록 진가가 바랄 것이다. I believe that the value of the song will go up more as time goes on, RM says. And I personally feel the same way, even though I myself was kind of surprised when the song was first released and I learned that it was a title track. The same thing with Arirang, the album, and everything during this era. The more time it goes, the true value will become more known, even among the people who for which the track or the album haven't still grown on, and RM is basically saying that, and he said that he has been wanting to say that for a while.
그렇게 생각합니다.
아, 저도 동의합니다.
That's what I think.
여름에 굉장히 어울리는 노래.
And J-Hope said, 저도 동의합니다. I agree.
수영하는
근데 보통
Jin says, it really suits summer, but Jungkook points out,
여름송하면 되게 신나는 거 많잖아요.
usually when you think summer song, they're all really upbeat, right?
우리는 더 반대네요. 요즘
But for us, we're kind of the opposite.
여름송이 신나는 노래 맞나?
Suga asks a question. Is a summer song even supposed to be upbeat anymore these days?
옛날에는 그치 옛날에는
올해 여름
Back in the day, it was like that.
한번
옛날.
겪어보도록 하겠습니다.
Jimin says, 올해 여름에 한번 겪어보도록 하겠습니다. We will we'll just have to live through this summer and see.
신나는지 여름에 근데 한국에 없잖아.
왜냐면 작년
But we're not even in Korea for summer.
여름은 일한다고 바빴고 그
Jimin says, last summer we were busy working,
재작년은 우울했기 때문에
and the year before we were depressed. It was a depressing one, or it was a hard one. Why? Because they were in the military. I love Jimin just saying that outright. 우울했기 때문에.
작년 여름에 많이 슬펐지.
일한다고 바빴고 그 재작년은 우울했기 때문에
작년 여름에 많이 슬펐지.
RM immediately agrees. 많이 슬펐지. Yeah, it was really, really sad. The summer before last year.
근데 아마 저희의 이번 올해는 다 뜨거울 겁니다.
But I think this year, 이번 올해는 다 뜨거울 겁니다. For all of us, it's going to be a hot one. J-Hope says.
왜냐면은 다 가는 아니 그걸
저 벌써
올해는 다 뜨거울 겁니다. 왜냐면은 다 가는 아니 그걸
저
Okay, I tried to catch what Jimin just said to J-Hope. I think he was just playing around. I couldn't quite catch it.
저 벌써
J-Hope laughed at his joke.
다 가는 아니 그걸
저 벌써 너무 뜨거워서 벌써 파운데이션 호스를 2호스가 내렸어.
RM says, I'm already so hot that I've already gone down like 2 shades in foundation.
남준이 좀 많이 탔더라.
남준이 진짜 많이 탔더라, Jin says. 남준, you got so tan.
올렸어요.
So RM corrects himself. He actually 올렸어요. I actually went up in foundation shades
저 이제 하도 햇빛이 많이 나와서
우리가 가는
because I've been getting so much sun. So here he's referring to the shade numbers used to classify skin tones, where lower numbers, so foundation is is a cosmetics, right? So the lower numbers like, I don't know, for example, 21 represent lighter shades, and higher numbers like 23 represent darker, tanner shades. And RM here says that he actually went up in foundation shades. Why? Because he's been getting so much sun and getting so tanned.
근데 다 여름 지역이니까 이제.
오늘 저도 지금 굉장히
Yeah, and J-Hope explains, because everywhere we go is a summer.
덥습니다 지금.
And Jimin says, today we are also incredibly, actually I am also incredibly,
근데 다 여름 지역이니까 이제.
오늘 저도 지금 굉장히 덥습니다.
yeah, 오늘 저도 지금 굉장히 덥습니다. Today I'm also incredibly hot right now.
더워 보인다.
네, 옷이 두꺼워.
Suga says, 더 보인다야, while touching Jimin's outfit. Yeah, you do look hot. And Jimin says, 옷이 너무 더워서. Yeah, what I'm wearing right now is quite hot.
아 옷이 오늘 다들.
죄송한데 마이클 잭슨 선생님인 줄 알았어요.
J-Hope was about to describe how stylish everyone is today, and RM says, Jimin says to Jimin, I thought you looked like Mr. Michael Jackson.
역시 디오라.
Oh, I thought you were Mr. Michael Jackson.
아 옷이 오늘 다들.
죄송한데 마이클 잭슨 선생님인 줄 알았어요.
죄송한데, sorry, but I thought you were Michael Jackson.
역시 디오라 아니겠습니까?
역시 Dior 아니겠습니까? After all, it is Dior, right?
아 그렇게 얘기한다.
And Jungkook immediately laughs, realizing what Jimin is doing right now. And Jin says, "Oh, are you are going in that direction?
이렇게 하면 안 되는 거예요?
아 그럼 저
Am I not supposed to say that?" And Jimin says.
역시 제가 지금 입고 있는.
And this is something that they did in the past too. One of the Weverse live streams last year, was it, when like everyone was proudly like advertising or promoting whatever brands that they're representing. So Jin here is acting as if he's about to do that. 그러면은 저도 역시 제가 지금 입고 있는, and then me too. What I'm wearing right now is designed by or is from so on and so on. He didn't actually drop the brand number, brand name. He was just playing around.
아 오늘 다들 스타일리시해서 너무 멋있어요.
J-Hope, 오늘 다들 스타일리시해서 너무 멋있어요. Everyone looks so stylish today. You guys all look amazing.
각자의 개성대로 잘 찾아간 것 같아요.
팬티는 큰
각자의 개성대로 잘 찾아간 것 같아요. Jin says, everyone seems to have found their own style. And yeah, let me back up. Yeah. Yeah, each member is so unique in terms of their style.
각자의 개성대로 잘 찾아간 것 같아요.
팬티는 켈빈.
Jungkook says, 팬티는 Calvin. The underwear is Calvin Klein. Jungkook promoting Calvin Klein, for which he's an ambassador.
근데 자켓은 셀린.
근데 자켓은 Celine, but the jacket that you're wearing is Celine.
아
태영
샴푸는
says.
아도르죠.
샴푸는 라도르죠. The shampoo is Lador, right? So they're talking about like which brand is the best when it comes to specific products or specific outfits.
셔츠는 구찌가 되게.
Now here Jin is promoting Gucci
자유의 몸이라는.
for a shirt.
아무튼 여러분 저도 까먹고 있었는데 이게 100% 투표로 받은 거죠.
맞아요. 이거
저도 까먹고 있었는데 I almost forgot to mention, but this award was won by 100% fan vote. RM explains.
진짜 왕여러분들의 사랑이 여러분들
아이분들이 정말 그 발표 나기 전까지 되게 노심초사하셨다고 합니다.
여기요.
RM. Apparently, armies were incredibly anxious right up until the announcement. So once again, I'd like to say congratulations to those who worked so hard on voting and encouraging everyone else to vote. I know how hard many people worked at it.
아미가 적혀 있어야 돼요 사실.
Jimin here says, 여기 아미가 적혀 했어요 사실. Army's name should really be written on this. And again, that's exactly what he did afterwards. Either using a Photoshop software or AI. That's so cute.
맞아요. 아미 and BTS 이렇게 같이.
Yeah, it should have been Army and BTS together like that.
약간의 좀 비하인드를 이야기하자면은 남준이가 이제 그 뭐냐
If I share a little behind the scenes,
시상할 때
Namjoon, when we went for the awards acceptance,
같이 들어갔는데
We all went in together.
읽어야 되는 그게 없어가지고 다들 당황했었던 그런.
아니 일단은
But the thing that he was supposed to read wasn't there, so everyone was thrown off.
겁나 새까매서 앞이 안 보여요.
RM says, 일단은, first of all, it was so dark that we couldn't see anything ahead.
생각시켜 들어왔어.
아 근데 프롬프터
And Suga says it was probably because Namjoon was wearing sunglasses. And do I have the hold up, footage? Give me a moment. Yeah, there we go. So it was dark overall, and RM was wearing the shades.
가 안 보이는 거예요. 그래서 프롬프터를 보면 된다 그랬는데 진짜 프롬프터가 아예
Wait, is Suga all of a sudden taking photos of the award
안 보였잖아.
using his phone?
아니 나도
프롬프터 안 보여요.
생각시켜 들어왔어.
아 근데 프롬프터가 안 보이는 거예요. 그래서
And the prompter was nowhere to be seen.
프롬프터를 보면 된다 그랬는데 진짜
They told us to just look at the prompter,
프롬프터가 아예 안 보였잖아.
but the prompter was completely invisible.
맞아. 아니 나도 찾아주느라
J-Hope says, right. I was trying to find it for you too.
이러고 있는 게 약간
프롬프터 어디
And I was kind of doing that,
있다는 거야.
like gesturing around.
검은색 그게
And Arya was like, 어디 있다는 거야? Where the heck is that thing?
저처럼 생기긴 했었어. 아 다행이다.
어디 있다는 거야.
딱 봐도 근데 그 검은색 그게 저처럼 생기긴 했었어. 아 다행이다.
And Jin said that there was that thing, prompter, in that black thing, that did kind of look like one.
왜냐하면 우리가 좀 오랜만이잖아 시상식.
맞아 내가
Now J-Hope is defending RM and defending themselves. But after all, it's because it's been a while for us, the awards show.
진짜 오랜만이긴 하구나. 감을 좀 내가 감을 잃었다.
And RM realized, right, it really has been a long time, and we have really lost the feel for it. 감을 좀 잃었다.
여러분들 근데 진짜
감당해.
감다일. So there's a 감다살. 감다살 is like a praise compliment, describing someone who is very good at making some trendy stuff. 감다 살았다. But here he's like making a twist by saying 감다일, 감다 잃었다. Someone who really lost the touch, who lost the feel for it. So describing themselves, but we know that it's just plain. It's just that it's been a while since the last time they attended award shows like this.
거의 뭐 저희 첫 무대 올라갈 때만큼 진짜 떨렸어요.
Jimin, 거의 뭐 첫 무대 올라갈 때만큼 I was as nervous as when we stepped on the stage for the very first time. Is he talking about like their debut performance? Was it that nerve-wracking? Wow, okay.
생각보다 긴장 좀 되더라고.
등에 땀 많이 났.
And J-Hope agrees. 생각보다 긴장 좀 많이 되더라고. I was more nervous than I expected.
지민이
And Jimin says, my back was soaked in sweat.
막
And Suga immediately checks on him by touching his back.
진짜 떨렸어요.
생각보다 긴장 좀 되더라고.
등에 땀 많이 났습니다.
지민이 막 떨고
진짜
있다.
거의
감을 잃었다.
여러분들 근데
감당
진짜
감당
거의 뭐 저희 첫 무대 올라갈 때만큼 진짜 떨렸어요.
생각보다 긴장 좀 되더라고.
등에 땀 많이 났습니다.
지민이
Okay, I was trying to listen to what these guys were saying, Taehyung and Jungkook, but it wasn't audible.
막 떨고 있더라고. 야 뜨겁네.
Suga, 뜨겁네. Yeah, you are hot.
지민이 형이 올해 긴장 중에 제일 긴장해.
옆에서 보고 있었어.
올해
Jungkook says, Jimin told me that this was the most nerve-wracking event of the year, or most nervous of the year.
올해 최고의 긴장시.
지민이가 차라리 프리스타일 댄스를 시켜달라고.
And Jimin even said that he would rather they just let him do freestyle dance.
아 진짜.
그게 더 편할 것 같다고.
맞습니다.
That will actually be better. That might actually be better. That's what Jimin allegedly said, according to RM.
그게 더 나을 수도 있어.
그게 더 나을 수도 있어. It might have been better.
아 근데 회장 안 해도 회장이라는 표현이 맞나? 공연장 안 해도 굉장히 또 관객분들이 많이 계시더라고.
So inside the venue, inside the performance hall, there were so many armies in there too. RM says.
저희 좀 기 좀 살았습니다 진짜로.
저희 기 좀 살았습니다. It really gave us energy. Made them confidence.
우리 아미야랑
근데 시상식하면 늘
어깨가 그냥
너 진짜 말 뜬다 진짜로.
우리 아미야랑
근데 시상식하면 늘
어깨가 그냥
Jungkook is agreeing with RM. Every time they attend events like this, award shows, armies are the ones who make them feel confident.
진짜로 많이 올라가.
올라갔습니다 그냥.
약간
어깨가 그냥
너 진짜로 많이 올라가.
올라갔습니다 그냥.
어깨가 많이 올라갔습니다. That's a Korean phrase, Korean saying. Literally means my shoulders were raised, but it means I felt proud, or I felt proud because of army. And here RM saying, I think your shoulders were literally raised as well.
약간 늘
어깨가 그냥
너 진짜로 많이 올라가.
올라갔습니다
실제로 많이 올라갔다.
그냥.
약간 항상 늘 우리가 시상식을 갈 때 아미분들이 많이 오셨는데
Whenever you go to award shows, army always shows up in big numbers, right? 태영 says.
그때 약간 어깨끈이 조금 차.
약간 많이 있지 많이.
That's when my shoulders puff up a lot actually.
함성 딱 나오면
함성 means scream, the shout.
거기 안도가 약간 많이 있지 많이. 함성 딱 나오면
Yeah, as soon as we hear the shouts from the army screaming,
거기
안도가 된다고 했나?
안도가 돼야 된다고 하나? Jungkook says, I guess you would call it relief. After being nervous, when they hear armies scream, it makes them feel relief.
맞아 긴장하다가
처음 저희 소셜
I love the way Jimin describes the feeling.
긴장하다가
긴장하다가, after feeling nervous, being relieved. Oh, that's so cute.
처음 10년 전에 저희 소셜 아티스트 받으러 빌보드 왔을 때
When we went to billboards back in the day to receive the Social Artist Award,
막 드레이크도 그때 처음 보고 막 그랬을 때
we saw Drake for the first time back then,
엄청난
그때 와
2017, and yes, these guys had met Drake back then, and was it last week or a couple weeks ago? Drake gave a shout out to BTS in one of the tracks on his recent album, and jhope and Taehyung made a reaction to it, right?
빌보드 왔을 때 그때 막 드레이크도 그때 처음 보고 막 그랬을 때
엄청난
그때 와 진짜 그 생각이 나더라고요.
So it was incredible, and that memory came back to me today.
그때 막 진짜 막 너무 쫄아서 올라갔는데
Back then, we went up on stage completely terrified. 너무 쫄아서.
막 함성이 너무 크니까
And the cheers were just so loud.
약간
드레이크 봤을 것 같아.
네, 드레이크 처음 봤어.
그때가 처음이죠.
Suga realizing, oh yes, we saw Drake back then, and that was the first time seeing Drake.
오늘 또 저기 그 제이홉의 또 글로리라
글로리라
And today we also saw jhope Glorilla, and I think RM said jhope Glorilla because Glorilla was featured in jhope's music during his solo era.
처음 만났어요.
But jhope said 처음 만났어요. It was my first time seeing her.
처음 만났어요.
And let me bring up the photos of. There you go. Oh, they gifted her with the Keep Swimming windbreaker. That is sweet.
엄청 에너지 좋고 너무 좋으신 분이었어요.
Such great energy. She was such a great person, Jimin says.
와.
And Busta Rhymes. So, Busta Rhymes was actually the presenter of the awards that BTS received that night. So it was really meaningful. And then they met up and had even conversations too. Yoongi smiled when Busta Rhymes manifested a BTS collab and then gave him a hug. Yeah.
어릴 때 너무 좋아해서 신기하게 하더라.
Suga describes how cool, how unreal it was to see him in person because he says he loved him so much. He listened to him so much when he was young.
저희한테 좋은 말 해주시니까.
머싸임 형님.
And he says such nice things to us, Jimin says.
진짜 손바닥 두께가 이만하던데.
Suga referring to Busta Rhymes as 형님 the Korean word for older brother. That's funny. He says his hands, the size of his palms, they were seriously this big.
우리를 아는지도 몰랐어.
I wasn't even sure that if he would know who you are, Jimin says.
스자 우리
나 순자 누나 진짜 누나 아닌가?
Taeyong says 스자 누나.
몰랐어.
그리고 스자 우리
So it's referring to SDA. But then Namjoon created a Korean name out of her. This is cool. Google is doing like, what does it say if I click? Oh, nice. So congratulations to SCA for winning. What did she win? American Music Award for Best Female R&B Artist. Okay, so RM created a Korean name out of her, calling her Sunja 누님. 누님 is like a word for older sister. And then RM immediately asked himself, 누나 아닌가? Is she not 누나? Let's see. She was born in 1989. So yeah, she is 누나 for Namjoon.
나 순자 누나 진짜 누나 아닌가? 아무튼 순자 동생인가?
Is she 동생? Like a younger sister or older sister? RM is unsure.
나 순자 동생 정말 진짜 좋아하거든요.
And here it says 순자 동생. But again, she is 누나 for RM. And I really love her, RM says. I really like her.
그죠?
나 SS를 난 차 안에서 후배한테 그 얘기를 했었어요. SS
I talked about her with J-Hope in the car, Taeyong says.
진짜 좋아하는데.
I really love her album.
한국에서도 인기 엄청 많고.
RM says she's also so popular in Korea too.
그래서 내가 그랬지. 너도 SS 해라. 스자 누나한테 같이 하자.
필요할게. 그럴 일은
SES 해라?
스자 누나한테 같이 하자.
필요할게.
같이 하자.
그래서 내가 그랬지. 너도 SS 해라. 스자 누나한테 같이 하자.
필요할게.
You should do like send her a SOS and telling her to collab. Hobi suggested to Taeyong,
그럴 일은 해라.
이게
but RM doesn't think that's gonna.
필요할게. 그럴 일은 해라.
이게
Anyways,
같이 하고 싶은 아티스트를
진짜
떠나서
진짜 신기했어.
그거 이외에 너무
hold on. Let me listen to one more time.
후배한테 그 얘기를 했었거든요. SS 앨범 진짜 좋아하는데.
한국에서도 인기 엄청 많고.
그래서 내가 그랬지. 너도 SS 해라. 스자 누나한테 같이 하자.
필요할게.
필요.
그럴 일은 해라.
이게 같이 하고 싶은 아티스트를
진짜
떠나서
진짜 신기했어.
그거 이외에 너무 진짜 너무
So forget the artist that I would like to collab with. It's just
멋진 아티스트죠.
she's someone I really respect. Taeyong says.
최고죠.
음.
맞습니다.
진짜 DM 하려고. 신기했어.
DM 거야?
또 저기
DM 하려고. I'm going to DM her.
최고죠. 맞습니다.
진짜 DM 하려고. 신기했어.
DM 거야?
And Jungkook says, "Oh, you're gonna DM her."
또 저기 그
진짜 노래 진짜
팬차이
많이
분들도 뵙고.
And Jimin loves SDA's music as well.
예예.
We also met Cat's Eye, RM says,
이재님
and they also met EJ of K-pop Demon Hunters. By the way, Jimin just did a motion gesture for Cat's Eye's pinky up.
팬차이 분들도 뵙고.
예예.
저그 골든
Pinky up. Jin was the one who said it.
이제
인사했어.
인사 나 지나가서
EJ, she looks like this. I couldn't find a clip of them meeting EJ at the event. Anyways.
누구 이장님?
인사했어.
인사
J-Hope asked to Jungkook, "Did you say hi to her?"
지나가서
She went past, so I couldn't.
누구 이장님?
And Jimin heard her name wrong, so he says, "누구 이장님? Who?" 이장님. It's just the Korean word that means village head or village chief.
사진 찍고
데모나타스.
So Namjoon explains to him what he's talking about, what they're talking about.
이장님이라고.
오늘 생각.
이장님이라고 한 줄 알았네. I thought you said 이장님, the village head or village chief.
뭐 많은 분을 좀 만나긴 했어요.
생각보다 누가 안 맞을 줄 알았는데.
We met more celebrities than we thought.
사람들이 진짜 많아서 좋았어.
I was so glad that there were so many Korean artists there too, RM says.
will.i.am도 보고. 맞아.
They saw Black Eyed Peas, will.i.am,
굉장히 옛날 추억에 그러니까 좀 추억에 빠져서 오늘은 약간
drift back into old memories.
그
버스터맨도 진짜
바로 오라
It seems like Taeyong gave a shout out and respect to Busta Rhymes.
정말 방탄소년단 하면은
Jungkook is laughing. I think that's because some armies were talking about how Jimin misheard Ija's name, 이장님, chief head. Jungkook thought it was funny.
못 겪어볼 일들을 참 많이 겪은 것 같아요. 방탄소년단 하면은 못 겪어볼 일들을 참 많이 겪은 것 같아요.
방탄소년단 하면은 못 겪어볼 일들을 참 많이 하는 것 같아요. Being BTS, we really do get to experience things that we wouldn't have done. We wouldn't have been able to if we weren't BTS, or experience things that most people never could.
신기했습니다. 그 중에 또 제일 큰 상도 받고 저희가.
It was incredible, and among everything, we also received the biggest award.
그러니까 많은 사람들이 아티스트 오브 더 이어
일단 뭐
저희가.
그러니까 많은 사람들이 아티스트 오브 더 이어
일단 뭐 샴페인 한번 해.
Jungkook suggests, champagne 한번 해? Should he have some champagne?
한잔 찌그려야지.
네, 이런 것도 지민이가 또 잘 가기
유명한데
때문에
잘까지.
Jhope says, 이런 거 지민이가 잘 까긴 해. Jimin is usually the expert at popping these.
그래요?
샴페인 한번 해.
한잔 찌그려야지.
네, 이런 것도 지민이가 또 잘 가기
유명한데
때문에
잘까지.
And Jungkook says the same thing. 지민이 형이 잘까지 is good at popping these.
그래요?
But Jimin sounds like he has never heard of such things. 그래요? Oh, is that so?
저도 여러분들 앞에서 이걸 까는
나도 금초 시문이야.
여러분들 앞에서 이걸 해본 걸 I think he was trying to say I have never done this in front of you guys.
그냥 사실
잘까지.
그래요? 저도 여러분들 앞에서 이걸 까는
나도 금초 시문이야.
그냥 사실
Okay, let me explain this in 5 seconds.
네가 앞에 있길래 그냥 말해
항상
저도 근문 사시긴 한데
그냥 샴페인 한잔 뭐 하겠어?
So J-Hope says, I was just saying that because you were right in front of me. Meanwhile, there's this thing going on between RM and Jimin. It's a joke. So RM apparently said the Korean phrase 금시초문, which means hearing something for the very first time. But he misspoke by saying
네가 앞에
저도 여러분들 앞에서 이걸 까는
나도 금초 시문이야.
금초시문이긴 한데. So he kind of flipped 금초시문, which doesn't mean anything. It's just a mistake that he made. But then
네가 앞에 있길래 그냥 말해
항상
저도 근문 사시긴 한데
and Jimin plays around with him by flipping that word one more time, like something like 금문초시 or something, using the same characters.
샴페인 한잔 뭐 하겠어?
And RM is laughing. He knows what Jimin is doing right here.
완전 근문 초식이라고
And Jimin keeps going at it, making different variations using that phrase.
심은 근문이긴 한데
시문 금문이긴 한데. Suga is complimenting how funny Jimin is these days.
지민이 폰좀 올라왔어요. 금방가리야.
이게 방탄소년단 활동도 해야 돼.
And this reminds me of what they said in LA while they were doing the Weverse live stream, how Jimin became like a comedian after military discharge. He became even funnier than before.
거든요.
재밌었죠.
근데 나오세요.
진짜 되게 오랜만에 가니까 나오세요.
올라왔어요.
아 이게 역시
금방가리야.
이게 방탄소년단
And RM even says, 지민 폼 좀 올라왔어요. Jimin has really leveled up.
활동도 해야 되거든요.
재밌었죠.
방탄소년단 활동을 또 해야 되거든요. After all, I've got BTS activities to do.
진짜 되게 오랜만에 가니까 나오세요. 정안 되긴 하더라. 나오세요.
아 그리고 이거 말씀드려야 돼. 저희가 이제 그때 저희가
Oh my god, they're talking over each other.
나오세요.
I think Suga here was describing how incredible it was to attend a award show for the first time in a long time. Meanwhile, Jungkook is still laughing because of the joke that Jimin made with the phrase, the mistake that RM did.
아 그리고 이거 말씀드려야 돼. 저희가 이제 그때 저희가 무대랑 이제 렉카를 이제 이제 안 했잖아요.
아.
그거에
RM, we didn't do a stage this time.
대해서
더워 죽겠네.
사실 이제 저희가 이제 지금 투쇼를 끝나고 나서
So he's explaining why they didn't perform. He said, we just finished 2 shows,
사실 목이 지금 다 쉬어요.
and my throat is actually, like he lost his voice,
약간
투쇼도 해야 되고.
컨디션 안 좋은 이제 이슈가
and we have to manage our conditions.
있어서 조금 이제 할 수 있는 거를 하자. 이렇게
So due to condition issues, we decided to just do what we could. So
제가 또 정상 컨디션으로 좀 보여드려야 되니까
네네네.
불가피하게
because we need to show you our best when we are at full strength.
그래서 아직 시차 적응 안 된 사람들이 몇 명이 있어요.
오늘 막
And Jin says, on top of that, there are a few members who still haven't adjusted to the time difference. 시차 적응.
국재 형은 아직도 시차 적응이 안 돼가지고 아까.
And Suga says, 석진이 형 still hasn't adjusted.
진짜
나는
한국으로 돌아가는
난
거야.
시차가 난 원래 10시 다 자는데
진짜
나는
한국으로 돌아가는 거야.
The RM says, Jin's time zone is basically adjusted to Korea.
시차가 난 원래 10시 다 자는데 오늘 9시에
10시 되면 난 항상 자는데 I sleep at 10 p.m. I think that's what Jin says.
진짜 한국으로 돌아가는
I
거야.
usually sleep at 10 p.m.
시차가 난 원래 10시 다 자는데
Or 1시. I cannot hear him exactly. Maybe 1 a.m. I usually go to bed at 1 a.m.
9시에 나가갑니다. 오전 9시. 진짜 잠이 너무
But Jin told me that he went to bed at 9 a.m. Jhope says.
안 들어가지고
전화
Because I couldn't fall asleep. Jin says.
정국이랑 진영이 오전 8시에 이렇게 연락을 했었어서
그거 아니
Jungkook and Jinyoung and I, we were texting each other at 8 in the morning or until 8 in the morning.
이런 적이 없었어.
나도
This has never happened to me before, Jin says.
아마 오늘 이 셋은 기절했을 겁니다. 나 12시
Meanwhile, J-Hope says, 이 셋은, this rapper trio, rap line, probably knocked out cold by then.
하시면 3시. 오늘 아침에 일어나서
Keishi, RM says he went to bed at 3 a.m.
눈이 퉁퉁 불어 있어가지고 잠을 못.
When I woke up this morning, my eyes were completely puffy, Jin says.
못 자가지고
그러니까
일어나니까 눈이 퉁퉁 불어 있어가지고 잠을 못 자가지고
그러니까
I think Taeyong says,
아침에 일어나니까 눈이 퉁퉁 불어 있어가지고 잠을 못 자가지고
그러니까
something about 7, either 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. I'm not sure if he's referring to whether he's referring to the wake up hours. Maybe he woke up at 7 a.m.
와 있더라고.
아니 진짜 이게
그리고 나랑 정국이랑 서로 가지고
그러니까
일어나니까 와 있더라고.
Yeah, when I woke up, there was a KakaoTalk message from him, Suga says.
진짜 이게
그리고 나랑 정국이랑 서로 나 지금 뭐 먹는다 하면서 보내주고
아침에 이게
And me and Jungkook were texting each other, I'm eating this right now.
점점 아침으로 가더라고요 결국
짬뽕 그냥 딱 요 정도 시차
Jungkook made jampong in the morning. Jampong is like a spicy Korean seafood meat noodles.
한국 가면 바로 이제 한 12시쯤 기절하실 수 있습니다.
근데 이제
So if this goes on when we go back to Korea, we would like basically pass out around midnight.
한국 가면 다시 그냥 새벽에
다시
But once you're back in Korea,
그냥 바로 5, 6시.
아 이게 시차가
you would automatically adjust back to the Korean time zone and the rhythm, and you would go to bed at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. again. And that's what happens when you like travel. I used to go back and forth between Korea and the US a lot as a student. And when I first get back to Korea, I would go to bed like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. But then my biological rhythm comes back, and then I go to bed like how I would usually. So that's what they're saying.
아 진짜 말이 안 돼. 내가 봤을 때 이건 시차의 문제가 아니야.
And Suga is making that point. I don't think this is about jet lag.
그치
문제 아니고 패턴의 문제야 패턴의 문제.
이게
It's about the pattern, so life habits.
호텔에 오래 사는 게 또 오랜만이라 또 그런 것도 있고.
And also, this is because we haven't lived in hotels for a long time. So, meaning the hotel lifestyle is they were doing this for the first time in a long time.
이 호텔이 유독 나한테 잠이 잘 안 가요.
So Jin is saying that this hotel in particular makes it hard for me to sleep.
나 이번은 좀 되게 아예 그거 없었어. 진짜.
Suga says, this time though, I had no problems with jet lag at all.
스트레스는 없어.
아, 스트레스는 없지.
스트레스는 없어. 정말.
Jungkook, 스트레스는 없어. No stress though. There's no stress involved with this world tour. And Jin is agreeing, no stress. And I'm so glad to hear this. Yeah, I have emphasized already enough on my channel how I'm so, appreciative of the schedule that they set up for this world tour, making it sustainable and making both themselves happy while making armies happy. So I love it.
스트레스 없어.
나 이번에 아예 진짜 없었어. 그리고 각자 이번에 취미생활 할 것들을 굉장히 잘 하고 있어가지고 이번
On top of that, everyone's been
투어에
really been keeping up with their hobbies for this world tour, Jin says.
포켓몬 카드.
For RM is Pokemon cards.
기타 어마어마하게 들고 있습니다 지금.
For Suga is playing guitar.
기타 하고 있어가지고 이번 투어에.
전 포켓몬 카드.
기타 어마어마하게 들고 있습니다 지금.
And I think his 어마어마하게 늘고 있습니다. I am dramatically improving with my guitar skills. So I'm glad to hear that. And when was it? Oh, it was during Jungkook's vlog when he filmed Suga playing guitar in the dressing room while getting hair and makeup done.
기타 어마어마하게 들고 있습니다.
베가스에서는 내가
포켓몬 카드. 대단해.
Taeyong says something here.
베가스에서는 내가
포켓몬 카드.
Something about Vegas. While we were in Vegas, he was describing something.
대단해. 들고 있습니다 지금. 기타 어마어마하게 들고 있습니다.
베가스에서는 내가
포켓몬 카드. 대단해. 그거 와서 만든.
늘 아무것도 안 해. 다니면서 할 수 있어가지고.
Okay. So Jungkook just said 나는 늘 아무것도 안 해. I always don't do anything. So it sounds like Taehyung says while they were in Vegas, he didn't do anything particular special.
근데 지금 와서 지금 하고 있어가지고 이번 투어에.
전 포켓몬 카드.
기타 어마어마하게 들고 있습니다 지금. 기타 어마어마하게 들고 있습니다.
베가스에서는 내가
포켓몬 카드. 대단해. 그거 와서 만든.
늘 아무것도 안 해. 다니면서 할 수 있어가지고.
저도 함께 하고 싶은데.
I think Suga and RM briefly talked about the Pokemon cards that RM is playing with while traveling.
너무 들어가겠어.
아 거의 비용이 어마무시하던데 형님?
Jimin is surprised by how expensive Pokemon cards are.
즐겨야 해야죠. 이걸 너무.
But I should have fun after all. 즐겜 해야죠, RM says.
그거의 그 목적이
즐김할
뭐야?
비용이 아니지.
Suga, 그거의 목적이 뭐야? What's even the point of it? Suga is someone who doesn't get, the point of playing Pokemon cards.
근데
그거의 목적이 뭐야? 추가되는 게 안 끝이야 그게?
Yeah, Suga is asking again, what's the objective? What's the intent?
비용이 아니던데.
그거의 목적이 뭐야? 추가되는 게 안 끝이야 그게?
Is it just because you like it?
약간 지금 좀 변질된 부분이 있는데.
변질되는 부분이 있는데 some people's intentions are starting to drift a bit, RM says. Maybe it's talking about how a lot of people nowadays treat Pokemon cards as investment. Meanwhile, these three guys were having conversations about themselves.
그거의 그 목적이
즐김할
뭐야?
비용이 아니던데.
그거의 목적이 뭐야?
Jimin says, 즐겸할 비용이 아니던데 how much it cost is just so high that it's nothing to play around with.
추가되는 게 안 끝이야 그게?
약간 지금 좀 변질된 부분이 있는데.
Taehyung is, playfully criticizing Jin for not giving Taehyung and Jungkook glasses before going for a toast.
우리가 뭔가를 오늘 할 수 있는 것들을 많이 했습니다. 그렇죠? 정말 여러 사람이 와서
jhope says, today we did as much as we possibly could for all of us.
여러분의 눈동자에 cheers.
여러분들의 눈동자에 cheers. Cheers everyone. To your eyes. So it's a phrase that you would say in Korea in a very romantic or just funny way before you go for a toast.
마시면 안 돼요. 마시면 안 돼요.
Jin, 마시면 안 돼요. We're not supposed to drink this. And everyone's like, why?
그래?
Suga says, I already drank.
아니 맛있어요.
Jin is just playing around. Just go ahead. Never mind.
말을 끝까지
아니
해주세요.
어쨌든
Jimin, if you started, talking, you should finish your sentence.
이게 또 그 음주 그거잖아요. 뭔가
Because it's an alcohol thing.
또 15세 그런 거 걸려 있는 그런 거 아니에요?
isn't this like 15-year-old plus rating on it, like PG or yeah, 15 plus, 15-year older or so on the Weverse thingy?
그것을 알고 해서
우리 계속
술
했었잖아.
마시는 멤버들은 없어.
바로 마셔버리겠습니다.
So I'm not sure why Jin all of a sudden said that, because the members are like, but we have done drinking on Weverse lives, which is why Taeyong points out, what about the members who have drunk while doing Weverse live stream?
있습니다.
아 그래 몰라.
And Jin's like, oh, is that so?
오락가락해 지금.
오락가락해. Like my mind is not clear right now.
형 나는
And
멤버들은 없어.
화장에 그런 거 걸려 있는 그런 거 아니에요?
그러면 그것을 알고 해서
우리 계속 했었잖아.
yeah, 계속 했었잖아. Suga says we've been doing this.
멤버들은 없어.
바로 마셔버리겠습니다.
바로 마셔버리게. I'm gonna go for it. RM
아
says.
그래 몰라. 너 그냥 오락가락해 지금.
형도 마셔.
형 나는
축하의 자리니.
야, 맛있다.
축하의
맛있다 is delicious.
배고파. 나 진짜 오늘 밥을 못 먹었어. 너무 배고프다.
Suga, 밥을 못 먹었어. 진짜 배고프다. I'm starving. I haven't eaten yet today.
아, 기울이 없어. 며칠 식단하고 있으니까.
아무튼 너무 재밌네요 라스베가스. 네.
Las Vegas is super fun, Jhope says.
아, 나 진짜 오늘 밥을 못 먹었어. 너무 배고프다.
그러니까.
아, 기울이 없어. 며칠 식단하고 있으니까.
Suga says 기운이 없어. 몇일째 식단하고 있으니까. I've been running low on energy because I've been on diet for the past few days. Sounds like he has a special like diet program going on, based on the word that he used, 식단.
아무튼 너무 재밌네요 라스베가스. 네. 좋은 추억 많이 쌓고 갑니다. 네.
We're making great memories, so many good memories in Las Vegas.
재밌어요.
투쇼 나왔는데 지금 기분이 어떠세요?
두쇼.
아 너무 설레요.
투쇼 남았는데 기분이 어떠세요?
좋은 추억 많이 쌓고 갑니다.
너무 재밌어요.
투쇼 나왔는데 지금 기분이 어떠세요?
Yeah, we have 2 shows left. How are you guys feeling right now? 2 shows in Las Vegas.
두쇼.
아 너무 설레요. 저
I'm so excited, Jungkook says.
그 공연이
재밌어.
아 맞아 공연이 진짜
Oh, so glad to hear this. 공연이 진짜 재밌어. The shows are genuinely so fun. I don't know, it's just the 3 words that he used. 공연이 진짜 재밌어. It just warms my heart. They're doing this not because it's their job. Of course, it's their job, but they are truly enjoying it on stage with armies. There's nothing that could be better than that. So,
재밌어.
베가스 너무 뜨거워.
and they're all saying the same thing. 재밌어. It's fun.
그 공연이
재밌어.
아 맞아 공연이
진짜 재밌어.
No, Jin and Jimin said the same thing.
베가스 너무 뜨거워. 우리.
너무 재밌는데
And Las Vegas is so hot.
이제 좀 아파.
But Jimin says 너무 재밌는데 이제 좀 아파. It is so fun. We're having so much fun, but my body is starting to hurt.
아 맞아. 회복이 좀 늦어.
And Suga immediately agrees. 맞아, 회복이 좀 늦어. Seriously, my recovery is getting slower.
한 달 넘으니까 정강이 너무 아파. 나도 감았어. 게다가.
한 달 넘으니까. After a month of this, my shins are hurting.
정강이가 나도 정강.
Oh,
너무 아파.
interesting. I guess this is a thing for all of them. Their shins are hurting.
피로해서 그래. 피로.
It's because they are tired. The fatigue is piling up.
그냥 온몸을 그냥 그 옛날에 막 군대 제대할 때 무슨 멍석말이 있었던 거 아시죠? 약간 목포 이렇게 뒤집어 쓰고 막 때리는 거 저런 거 약간 맨날 그거 당하는 기분이에요.
You know how back in the day when you would discharge from the military, there was this thing called 멍석말이, the blanket beating, RM says. So this doesn't happen anymore in the Korean military, but I guess back in the day, they would like cover you with the blanket, like green military style blanket, and beat you up to celebrate you getting discharged. And RM says it kind of feels like that. I'm aching, starting to ache, like getting beaten up.
끝나고 나면 아침에 일어나면 진짜
Like whenever I wake up in the morning, my body hurts.
약간 그때 맞고 일어나면 진짜
Kind of feels like I'm getting hit like 100 times.
우리는 다 공감하거든요. 이 시청자분들 아무도 공감 못할 거예요.
And Taeyong says we all totally relate, but none of the viewers watching this could possibly relate. For me though, that's completely fine. So Taeyong is having the viewers, armies in mind, and you know how some of the members are trying to be careful talking about military experiences too much in case some armies would be bored, but I personally love when they talk about stuff they relate. It's us fans learning about their experiences. But yeah, I totally understand why Taeyang said that though, pointing that out.
아무튼 뭔가 맞은 것 같다 할 정도로 열심히 즐겼다는 거.
근데 너는 정말 대단.
And RM says that I'm just trying to say we're having so much fun to the point our body is hurting just like we are getting beaten up.
이게 하루 시작하면 바로 운동하더라고 공연장.
무조건
근데 너는 정말 대단한 게 하루 시작하면 바로 운동하더라고 공연장.
What's impressive about you is, J-Hope says, describing RM, every day you start working out right away.
무조건 즐겼다는 거.
근데 너는 정말 대단한 게 하루 시작하면 바로 운동하더라고
하루 시작하면.
무조건 열심히.
So when he wakes up, he starts working out.
공연 날에는 바로 운동을 한.
10:30.
오전 11시.
근데 그건 있어요. 운동을 해야지 약간 혈기가.
근데 바로 운동을 한다.
오전 11시.
And Jin is impressed. 바로 운동한다고? You work out right when you wake up?
그건 있어요. 운동을 해야지 약간 혈기가.
근데 공연 날은 못 하겠어요.
And Taehyung, I think, is making a point that it is a good habit to work out while performing during the world tour.
근데 웃긴 게 뭐냐면은 그 헬스장 시간이 되게 여유롭잖아. 근데 멤버들마다 이렇게 헬스장에 가면서 마주친다. 헬스장 시간이 되게 근데
공연 날은 못 하겠어요.
근데 웃긴 게 뭐냐면
Jimin says that he it sounds like he does work out, but he cannot work out on the day of the concert. Or maybe J-Hope, when J-Hope said RM 바로 운동한다, maybe he was saying RM works out right after the concert is over, because the concert is over at like 10:15 p.m. right? It starts at 8 p.m. Goes on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So maybe RM works out right after he gets back to the hotel, which is even more impressive. Oh, I think that's what they were saying. Interesting. Now, Jin here is saying, what is funny? The funny thing is the gym hours are pretty open.
그 헬스장 시간이 되게 여유롭잖아. 근데 멤버들마다 이렇게 헬스장에 가면서 마주친다.
But every time I go to gym, I run into members. And here, I think he's trying to say how the habits and the patterns, lifestyles of these members are pretty much aligned, even though the gym is basically open, most of the day.
나 윤기 마주쳤었고 남준이도 마주쳤고.
I ran into Yoongi, I ran into Namjoon,
정국이 마주치고.
I also ran into Jungkook.
아무도 못 맞춰서 좀 서운했습니다.
나도
오늘은 못 잤어. 맞았어.
오늘 아무도 못 맞추셔서 서운했습니다. But today I didn't run into anyone, so I was a little disappointed. RM says.
저 맞아요? 잠깐만.
저는 오늘 쌀
좀 서운했습니다.
나도
오늘은 못 잤어. 맞았어.
저 맞아요?
Jin says 나 못 잤어. I wasn't able to sleep. But Suga says I went to the gym.
저는 오늘 쌀 오전에 갔다.
Sounds like Jungkook saw Yoongi when he went to the gym.
맞아.
나 윤기 어제 마주쳤어.
I ran into Yoongi yesterday, Jin says,
공연 날에.
on the day of the concert.
형 지금 우리 라이브 오랜만에 킨 멤버들 누구지?
Who are the members turning on the live for the first time in a long time?
윤경 오랜만에 킨.
나도 오랜만에.
형이랑 나랑 지민이는 처음 드라마에서 하고.
Suga, J-Hope, and Jimin did a live stream in Tampa.
정국이가 좀
우리는 석청
아 맞다 우리 했었지.
And Jungkook hasn't done a live in a while.
아 맞다.
한번 하려고 했는데 촬영한다고.
아리 먹고.
Jungkook says, I tried to do it once, but then I was busy filming or editing.
맞다. 그리고 호비가
And Suga says, 아리 먹고. At the time we were eating 아리.
석청구에 왔어.
이번 석축성 물고.
So Jin is providing a life update.
아리 먹고. 맞다. 그리고 호비가 석청구에 왔어.
By the way, J-Hope has gotten the new 석청, new honey.
이번 석축성 물고.
But without missing a beat, Jungkook is providing feedback or criticism, saying that the 석청 this time is too liquidy, too watery.
아니 그니까
Jimin laughs.
이게 웃긴 게 뭐냐면 석청이 살짝 묽으니까 애들이 안 먹어.
What is funny is that this time 석청 batch is so watery that none of the guys are not having it. 애들이 한 번도 안 먹어. The guys didn't eat any of it.
처음이 중요한 거야 그래서.
This is why the first time is important.
첫 맛이 그 약간 그 불량식품 같기도 하고 그. 아니 처음 거가 너.
The first time he tasted 호비 석청, it tasted like 불량식품. It refers to the food that is bad for your body, but super tasty.
너무 좋은 석청을 먹어서 이제 이번에는 안 맞는 거지. 석청을
Suga is explaining how these guys like standard has gotten so high after tasting the great quality 석청 for the first time. So this time is not satisfying their taste.
먹는 거랑 그냥 꿀을 먹는 거랑 큰 차이가 없어요.
Jin says, with the honey, J-Hope's honey that just has arrived, there's not much difference between that and eating regular honey.
피하더라고요. 꿀 안 먹고.
So they all avoided it.
피한 게 아니라 호비 석청 빨리 사라질까 봐.
And Jin says, it's not that I'm avoiding it, I was just afraid that J-Hope's honey would run out.
몇통 있던데요.
아예 호비 석청 사라지면 좀 그러니까. 집에
몇 통 있던데요? It seems like J-Hope has gotten a few jars of the honey.
몇개 더 알거든요. 내가 한번 검수해보고
아니 이게 진짜
내가 한번 검수해보고. So J-Hope says he's gonna check on the remaining honey.
약간 야생
몇개 더 알거든요. 내가 한번 검수해보고
Or maybe he has more to come from Korea. So he's gonna do some quality check for the members.
아니 이게 진짜 약간 야생 그 석청이라는 증거 아니에요? 그 약간
Alright, isn't this the proof that it's truly wild honeycomb?
뭔가 티어가 다른 게
How there are multiple tiers?
아니 알들이
맛이 다 달라.
결정이 없어.
아니 결정은 있어.
좀
근데
녹진 하지가 않았어요.
물거.
Okay, so they are having conversations about honey again. So it feels like it's on different tier, and the individual, like the product, all tastes different, and it's not crystallized this time.
결정이 없어.
결정이 없어. It seems like Jungkook appreciates the texture. How the last time there were some like solid crystals in it, but this time it was just so watery. So maybe Jungkook prefers the crystallized version.
있어.
좀
근데
녹진 하지가 않았어요.
물거.
Yeah, but Jin is making a point. It is. There are some crystals in it, but it's just so watery.
나안
결정 있어. 안 먹었어?
안 먹었어.
이제 안 먹어봤어? Have you not tasted it? Jungkook says, I haven't.
안 먹어봤는데 무슨 뭐지?
안 먹어. So Jin is criticizing Jungkook playfully. You haven't tried it, so what are you criticizing about?
석청 맛있는 업체 있으시면 한번 추천 부탁드리겠습니다.
What did RM say?
석청 맛있는 업체 있으시면 한번 추천 부탁드리겠습니다.
석청 맛있는 업체 있으시면 추천 부탁드리겠습니다. If you know any brands or companies with great wild honey, please give us some recommendations.
석청 맛있는 업체 있으시면 한번 추천 부탁드리겠습니다.
자막이 바로 뜨네.
석청
안 먹었어.
뭐 안 먹어봤는데 무슨
And 태영, 형도 안 먹어봤잖아요. 형, you haven't tried it either.
석청 맛있는 업체 있으시면 한번 추천 부탁드리겠습니다.
And Jin says, I've tried it once, but then he wasn't satisfied, so is not. He's been avoiding it.
자막이 바로 뜨네. 아 댓글.
그래 댓글 좀 읽어봅시다.
소통해요.
Let's read some comments. Let's communicate with armies.
하래요.
자,
마파래요. 마팔 means like following back on Twitter, for example. So RM is just playing around. That's what you would say after saying 소통해요. Let's communicate on social media. Or if you are like an influencer, you would say 소통해요, 마파래요. Let's communicate, or let's stay in touch. Let's follow each other.
진님은 사람들이 어둠을 볼 때 그곳을 빛내는 분이에요.
Mr. Jin, when people are in darkness or when people see darkness, you are the one who illuminates it.
사람들이 환하게 어둠을 볼 때 그곳을 빛내는 분이에요. 사람들이
I am like the light.
환하게 타오르는 촛불이시고 결코 꺼지지 않는 희망이죠.
is like the candle that brightly. Wait.
사랑하기 위해 환하게 타오르는 촛불이시고 결코 꺼지지 않는 희망이죠.
Yeah, brightly burning candle and a hope that never goes out.
흔들리지 않는 흔들리는 마음으로 고요히 잠.
타오르도록 하겠습니다.
So I think Jimin is reading auto-translated comments written by. So a comment written by an army that's auto-translated, but that he is lost in the middle of it.
흔들리는 마음으로 고요히 잠.
타오르도록 하겠습니다.
야 근데 중간에 말이 끊겼어. 아니면 번역 잘못되다가.
Yeah, it got cut off in the middle, J-Hope says. Something got cut off in the middle, or maybe the translation was off.
고요히 잠.
자,
고요히 잠, sleep quietly. So there's some glitch about the translation.
여러분 축하합니다.
Congratulations, everyone.
브라질에서 기다리고 있을게요.
I will wait for you in Brazil. Sounds like they are excited to go to Brazil.
느낌표가 두 개가 있어.
Yoongi Marry Me is always there, and Jimin read it because there were 2 exclamation points.
방향 있는 거 아니야?
너무 많이 읽는 거 아니야? Aren't you reading it too often?
느낌표가 두 개가 있어. 그의 머리 딴 저군요. 감사합니다.
Someone was complimenting Jimin's hair, so it says, "Oh, you're talking about me. Thank you."
읽어줘요 그래도.
다음 머리
Please read it. Please go on.
가 섹시하답니다.
Jimin's hair is sexy.
어디까지 기르려고 하는 거야?
How long are you planning to grow it? Suga asked.
저그 AI로 그 해주신 것처럼 그 라푼젤
Like that AI version that you have made. I think it's referring to Taehyung, who allegedly shares AI generated photos of Jimin where his hair is super long, and he shares that in the group chat.
될 때까지 기억을 생각입니다.
So I'm planning to grow it until I look like Rapunzel, the Disney character. Maybe he's serious. Maybe he's playing around.
응원합니다.
I support that.
말리는데 막 1시간씩 걸린다 하더라고 지민이.
Jimin said it takes like an hour just to dry his hair, Jin says.
정말하면
약간 완전히 된 것 같긴 한데
저거에 달해
That does seem a little exaggerated, but
약속 잡았는데 뭐 1시간 뒤에 나오더니 저 머리 말리는데 시간이 좀
왜 그러냐면
we had plans last time, Seokjin and Jimin, and Seokjin and Jimin, and he came out an hour later and said, "Sorry, drying my hair took some time."
머리를 그 새로 붙인 지 얼마 안 돼서 아파서 좀 씻는데 오래 걸려.
아니 내
The reason was I had just gotten extensions and it was still sore. While 아파서 좀 씻는데 좀 오래 걸렸어요. Okay, it was a bit painful, so washing took longer. I have never done something like that, extensions. So maybe it hurts while taking a shower or washing your hair if you got extensions.
장발은 말리고 얘는 또 탈색까지 해가지고 더 장난이지. 머리가 많이 상했으니까.
So long hair dries long, but Jimin also bleached it, so it takes even more time, Suga says.
맞아. 탈색까지 해가지고 더 장난이지. 머리가 많이 상했으니까.
머리가 많이 상했으니까. Yeah, it won't dry, and on top of that, his hair is so damaged.
맞아.
이쁘긴 해요. It is pretty though, RM says.
이 옷 너무 예뻐요.
나중에 양갈래도 될 것 같아.
태영이 옷 너무 예뻐요. Someone said 태영's outfit is so pretty. Meanwhile, 태영 says 나중에 양갈래 해도 될 것 같아요. I think he could pull off pigtails too.
이번 공연에서 양갈래 한번 해주라.
이번 공연에서 양갈래 한번 해주라. Hey, do the pigtails at one of the shows. Jin is making a request.
형이 옛날에 양갈래를 했더라고.
맞아.
Apparently, you wore pigtails back in the day. J-Hope says to Jin.
라스베가스에서.
In Las Vegas.
나 진짜 보고 깜짝 놀랐어 진짜.
I was genuinely surprised.
그거 있었어요. 그때 오징어 게임.
네, 요즘 스태프분들이 알려주셨는데 이제
그때 그거 있었어요. 그때 오징어 게임.
네, 요즘 스태프분들이
Suga said something that was inaudible.
알려주셨는데 이제 오빠라고 안 하고 이제 언니라고 그런다고 그러더라고요.
Staff members were telling me recently they are no longer calling me oppa anymore. Apparently, they're calling me 언니 now.
약간 좀 의심스럽긴 해.
Oppa is someone, what you would say to someone who is older than you. So if you're a girl, and you would say oppa to someone who is older than you and who is male. 언니 is the word that you would use to refer to someone who's older than you but is female. So Jimin is joking here.
뭘 의심하는데요?
약간 좀 의심스럽긴 해.
의심스럽긴 해. I am a bit suspicious. Yeah, Suga says.
뭘 의심하는데요?
What are you suspicious of? Jimin says.
재밌네요.
네, 재밌네요.
It is funny.
아르헨티나가 여러분들을 기다리고
아르헨티나 한다가.
Argentina is waiting for you all.
아르헨티나.
Suga says he's never been to Argentina.
아르헨티나. 룩셈부르크.
I'm just laughing because I know what they're talking about. It's a song. It's a line from a Korean song titled Luxembourg, and it goes Argentina, Luxembourg.
아르헨티나 좀 궁금하네. 아르헨티나 좋아요.
I am very curious about Argentina. Suga says.
야무져요. 아르헨티나가 그 소고기가 엄청 유명하다고 그러는데.
I heard that the beef is apparently incredibly famous there in Argentina.
형 뭐 행성 한우 뭐
아니 거기 소고기.
Hwaengsong is an area, a region in Korea that is very famous for 한우, Korean beef.
이가 사람보다
So RM, it says, is it kind of like Hwaengsong 한우?
많은데 아니 그 칠레가? 아르헨티나.
행성 한우 뭐
아니 거기 소고기가 사람보다 많다는데 아니 그 칠레가?
Suga says 소고기가 사람보다 많다는데 아니야? 그 칠레인가? Apparently, there are more beef, or the beef outnumbers the people there. I think he said it wrong. He's supposed to say 소, cows, not 소고기, not beef. So he's trying to say, apparently in Argentina, the cows outnumber the people there. But wait, is it the Chile?
아르헨티나.
Or is it Argentina?
한우가 유명해 아니면 아르헨티나 한우가 유명해?
Jen is making a joke. Is Hwaengsong 한우 more famous or Argentina 한우 more famous? But it's a joke because 한우, but the word itself is supposed to mean Korean beef, which is why Argentina 한우가 있어요. RM says, is there Korean beef? Is there 한우 in Argentina? 한우가 어딨어? There are no Korean cows in Argentina.
재엽 씨 오늘 얼굴이 너무 섹시합니다.
J-Hope, your face is so sexy today.
야 되게 착하다. 읽어줘.
Jimin just made it up.
얼굴이 너무 섹시합니다.
그런 거 없어. Jin says, there's no comments like that.
야 되게 착하다. 읽어준다 그랬잖아.
J-Hope says he's so kind-hearted and he's still reading it.
없는 거를 또 이렇게 읽어준다 또.
윤기 씨
He's reading what is not there.
오늘 엉덩이가 섹시했습니다.
Yoongi, your butt was so sexy.
정국 씨, 석진 씨 팬티 좀 그만 만지세요.
Jin, 정국 씨, 석진 씨 팬티 좀 그만 만지세요. 정국, please stop touching 석진's underwear. That's what Jin says.
정국 씨.
Because that's apparently what Jungkook is doing right now. Jin is playing right along with the joke that Jimin is doing, reading comments that are not there,
석진 씨 팬티 좀 그만 만지세요.
making it up.
정국 씨, 석진 씨 팬티 좀 그만 만지세요라고 써 있어 여기.
It's written right here. Jin says.
사람들이 오해합니다.
사람들이 오해하겠네. There's gonna be misunderstanding.
팬티를 자꾸 여기까지 올려가지고 레슬러를 만들어 버리니까 그냥 환장이 죽었어요.
No, he keeps pulling my underwear up to here, turning me into a wrestler.
근데 형도 똑같이 하나요 중국인데.
Taeyong points out, well, 형, you're doing the same thing to Jungkook.
재밌죠?
재밌죠? This is funny though.
근데 이제 오해할 시기는 지나지 않았나요? 저희 이거 활동이 도대체
이제 오해할 시기는 지나지 않았나요? Hasn't the age of misunderstanding kind of passed? Jimin points out. Meaning, at this point, most armies would know what they are doing, like making jokes, playing around with each other, messing with each other.
정신 연령이 진짜 둘이 똑같대.
똑똑하잖아.
근데 한국말로
정신 연령이 둘이 똑같아. The mental age of these guys is the same.
정확하게 도대체
나의 정신 연령이
진짜 둘이 똑같대.
나네.
정신 연령, mental age. That's the word RM says. But immediately Taeyong says, 둘이 똑같아. These two members are the same. Jin and Jungkook, the oldest and the youngest, are on the same level. Jin goes, you do the same though.
한국말로 정확하게 딱 나오긴 하네. 근데
자 이거 그냥 주세요.
예, 여기
영어가
있습니다.
많을
네.
것 같아서.
맞아요.
근데 영어가
So Jimin is impressed by the AI translation. It is coming out accurately in Korean, but RM suggests he would read the comments. There seems to be a lot of English comments here.
많은데 이게 좀
내림이가
내림이가 많아가지고
남주가 아까
There are so many marry me's though, Jin points out,
노란 우리 어디 갔어? 아
meaning it's hard to read some, unique comments.
회장이 다.
이게 좀
내림이
내림이가 많아가지고
남주가 아까 그 노란 우리 어디 갔어? 아 회장이 다 두고 왔네요.
사실
Where's the yellow duck? Namjoon, someone asked, and it says he left it in the venue.
그 저희 그 회사에서 저희 또 스임이라고 오리 준비해 주셨어요.
약간
Hold on. So Jimin said, our company, Big Hits, prepared ducks for us because it's swim after all. And they brought the yellow mini ducks to the award show. And here, that's pretty adorable.
우리가 헤엄치는
케이크도 귀여워. 이거 LA에서 만들었어. 그래 태영 한입 먹어봐.
아 잠깐.
And the cake, this is also cute. It was made in LA.
저희 또 스임이라고 오리 준비해 주셨어요.
약간 우리가 헤엄치는
케이크도 귀여워. 이거 LA에서 만들었어. 그래 태영 한입 먹어봐.
Taeyong, go ahead, come have a bite.
잠깐만.
Hold on.
먹는 거 아니야 먹는 거. 아니야
It's not edible, Suga says.
태영이
저희도 한번 볼게요. 못 봐가지고.
Let me take a look. I haven't seen it yet. Meanwhile, jhope is taking a selfie.
이가 두 개가 나요.
우와.
이가 두 개 나가요. If I have a bite, I'm gonna lose 2 teeth. Taeyong says.
스밍이었네.
Keep swimming 플러스
It says keep swimming
아리랑까지 적혀 있어요.
and Arirang
그리고
on it.
북두철성으로
요즘에 엔디샷으로 하나.
정욱 씨, 석진 씨 팬티 좀
I don't know why Taeyong says 북두철 song like Big Dipper constellation.
그만 좀 쳐 올리세요라고.
그리고 북두철성으로
요즘에 엔디샷.
Oh, because I see. Yeah, there's a Big Dipper right there. It's just funny how the way he pronounced the word 북두철 song. Like,
먹는 거 아니야 먹는 거. 아니야 태영이
저 스밍이었네.
Keep swimming 플러스 아리랑까지 적혀 있어요.
so apparently Jungkook is continuing to touch Jin's underwear, which is why Jin goes.
그리고 북두철성으로
요즘에 엔디샷으로 하나.
정욱 씨, 석진 씨 팬티 좀 그만 좀 쳐 올리세요라고 지금 댓글 써.
They're writing comments. Mr. Jungkook, please stop yanking up Seokjin's underwear.
자 지민아 사랑해 이놈의 아름다운 것들.
Jungkook is dying laughing.
지민은 라푼젤의 여동생처럼 생겼어요.
야 이게 헤엄치는 거.
지민의 라푼젤이 여동생처럼 생겼어요. Jimin looks like Rapunzel's little sister.
일곱.
라푼젤 여동생.
자
라푼젤 여동생이지.
자 폴란드
Seokjin asked, Rapunzel has a little sister?
전체에서 축하드립니다. 최고의 보드카를 마시러 오세요.
Congratulations from all of Poland. Come drink the best vodka.
폴란드 보드카. 폴란드 안 가.
보드카는 좀 되게.
I've never been to vodka. Sorry, I've never been to Poland. Suga says.
와 폴란드 대박이죠.
Poland is amazing.
데킬라가 안 맞아요. 아 데킬라 힘들더라고.
Tequila doesn't agree with me.
선인장
폴란드 수도가 나왔어요.
숙취가 너무 심해.
폴란드.
So Jimin suffers when he drinks tequila.
요즘 술을 잘
The hangover is terrible.
마신다.
I haven't been drinking much lately, Jimin says.
근데 오늘 마셔야지.
But today I'm gonna drink.
나와야겠습니다.
근데 이거 좀.
디아모.
Diamo.
Sit down. 디아모. Sit down. 페루. 우리
Wait, what's the original song? Be Humble. Oh, Be Humble. It's a Kendrick Lamar song. And they've been singing this sometimes during the concert when they sit down and talk, the men's section. But I guess they're doing this because Te Amo kind of sounds like be humble.
페루도 가지.
아 페루 기대하고 있죠.
We are also going to Peru, right?
진짜 궁금하긴 해.
We are excited about Peru, Jimin says.
왜냐하면은 제가 뉴스를 많이 봤습니다.
It's because I've heard about Peru from the news.
페루에서 또 저희를 맞이해 주시고 계시다고
Apparently, they are getting ready to welcome us.
엄청 감동받고 있습니다.
나 페루
So I am deeply moved. Yeah. Interesting. So Jimin says I've seen a lot of news about that.
책에서만 본 것 같아. 페루 아무것도.
I feel like I've only ever seen it in books or only learned about Peru in books.
페루 이름 많이 들어봤어요.
페루 우리 안 가봤네.
I've heard the name so much. RM says.
가봤습니다.
Haven't we been there? No, we haven't.
처음입니다.
It's first time.
그 문명 많은 데가 페루 아니야?
Isn't Peru the place with all the ancient civilizations?
그 마추픽추.
마추픽추? 마약 문명.
Like Machu Picchu,
가서 봐야겠다.
the Inca civilization? We should go see it, Jhope says.
가지.
근데 거기
보러 가실? Would you like to join me?
거기가 하늘의 성이라고 우리
오늘
보러 가실?
가지.
근데 거기가 하늘의 성이라고 우리
오늘 생각하면서 생각해.
대인 볼 걸.
So Taeyong is describing as like a castle in the sky,
제가 보겠습니다.
그래 맞아.
like Eden.
그거 맞는 말이야.
방금
이제는 저희가 이제 투어를
그래 맞아.
우리
오늘 생각하면서 생각해.
대인 볼 걸.
제가 보겠습니다.
그래 맞아.
Okay. Jimin says, I was thinking about this today. Like, when would we be able to visit places like that in our lifetime? And J-Hope agrees immediately. Yes, you are so right.
맞는 말이야.
이제는 저희
거기가 하늘의 성이라고 우리
오늘 생각하면서 생각해.
대인 볼 걸.
오늘 생각이 바뀌었어. So thinking about it today, my mind changed.
제가 보겠습니다.
그래 맞아. 그거 맞는 말이야.
이제는 저희가 이제 투어를 하면은 그 나라에 좀 유명한 곳이거나 뭐
So now, while we are touring, we try to
경험을 좀
맞아요. 사실 저희가 투어라서 감사하게 여기 있지.
experience the country a bit. Each place that they visit, like famous places, or just experiences in general. We're honestly here because of the world tour.
언제 또 와보겠어. 진짜.
When else would we ever come?
남주 메이클볼도 하고
아니 메리미 형
노미콘도 가고
이제 피클볼은
할 수 있는 날 인생을 좀 즐겨보려고 합니다.
하면 이제 다음 날에 이제 거기 안에
너무 다양한 거가 올라와서
Wow. Everyone except Jungkook and J-Hope was just talking right now.
남주 메이클볼
감사하게 여기 있지. 언제 또 와보겠어. 진짜.
Yeah, so Jin is agreeing with Jimin how this is such great opportunities for them to experience all the countries that they're visiting.
남주 메이클볼도 하고
And we have played pickleball.
메리미 형
노미콘도 가고
이제 피클볼은
할 수 있는 날 인생을 좀 즐겨보려고 합니다.
하면 이제 다음 날에 이제 거기 안에
너무 다양한 거가 올라와서
그럼 내가 다른 데를 가기.
자
Oh, this is something that Taehyung said earlier. How they went to the place for pickleball, but then people took photos of them and videos of them, which prevented them from visiting that place again, forcing them to visit another place.
나랑 같이 놀이공
다음 날에 이제 거기 안에
너무 다양한 거가 올라와서
있는 날 인생을 좀 즐겨보려고 합니다.
하면 이제
And Jimin says that we are trying to enjoy ourselves, through this world tour.
다음 날에 이제 거기 안에
너무 다양한 거가 올라와서
There are so many comments written in diverse languages, Suga says.
내가 다른 데를 가기.
자
나랑 같이 놀이공원 가는 거 어때?
What about you joining me going to amusement park? Jin says. Jin says.
형이요? 형 여기 롤러코스터 탔어요?
With you, Hyung?
여기 건 못 탔어. 저번에 가자.
Did you ride a roller coaster there?
롤러코스터
형이요? 형 여기 롤러코스터 탔어요?
여기 건 못 탔어. 저번에 가자.
I didn't get to ride it here.
롤러코스터 타니까 그거 생각나면
밤에만 운영한다 하더라고.
They only operate roller coasters during the evening.
시간이 안 돼서. 낮에 하는데? 낮에 안 한다 하더라고.
The timing didn't work out. It doesn't operate during the day. Why is Jimin laughing?
저번에 가자.
롤러코스터 타니까 그거 생각나면
밤에만 운영한다
Roller coaster reminds me of something.
하더라고.
Jimin says.
시간이 안 돼서. 낮에 하는데? 낮에 안 한다 하더라고.
No idea what that was about, but Jimin was laughing with RM singing roller coaster.
롤러코스터 어디야? 그 무슨 라파트?
청아님
라파트?
노래로
어디 가서
그 롤러코스터 나오면
맞아. 술 마셨었잖아요. 짠하면서.
우리 아니 그 석진이 형
롤러코스터 짠.
롤러코스터 나올 때마다 한 잔씩 마시고.
그러니까.
와 근데 롤러코스터 진짜 자주 나와가지고
근데 우리가 옛날에 그 노래 진짜 한 300번 들었을 때.
진짜 많이 들었지.
좋지
Okay, let me hear that one more time.
롤러코스터 나올 때마다
마셨었잖아요. 짠하면서.
라파트?
노래로
어디 가서
그 롤러코스터 나
So apparently they went to a place, probably a bar, and every time the word roller coaster comes up, they had to drink.
나오면
맞아. 술 마셨었잖아요. 짠하면서.
우리 아니 그 석진이 형
롤러코스터 짠.
Drink a shot every time they heard the word roller coaster.
롤러코스터 나올 때마다 한 잔씩 마시고.
그러니까.
와 근데 롤러코스터 진짜 자주 나와가지고
But roller coaster came up so often.
우리가 옛날에 그 노래 진짜 한 300번 들었을 때.
진짜 많이
We listened to the song about 300 times back in the day.
들었지.
좋잖아
정말 주제가
읽으면 댓글이 없는데.
정말 주제가, RM says, 주제 means topic. So probably referring to the fact that they're covering a wide spectrum of topics during this single Weverse live stream.
나도 그래서
나 줘봐봐요.
메린
정말 주제가
읽으면 댓글이 없는데.
그래서 나도 그래서
읽을 만한 댓글이 없는데 there aren't any comments worth reading, J-Hope says.
나 줘봐봐요.
메리미가
Pass me the iPad, 태영 says.
너무 많아가지고
자 여러분 Q&A 하겠습니다. Q&A question and answers. If you
메리미
have any
적어주시면 못
questions.
읽어요
Let's do a Q&A. And Jin says, if you write marry me, we wouldn't be able to read your comments.
저는 하고
자
있어요.
질문 있으시면 답변해 드릴게요.
If you have a question, we will answer you.
나 이거.
왜 원몰 나잇을 부르지 않나요?
Why don't you guys perform one more night?
원몰 나이
왜냐면
뭐
원벌
언젠간 부르겠죠.
언젠간 부르겠죠. Someday we will.
저희 부를 거예요. 좀
We will.
기다려.
Just wait a little longer.
조금만 기다려.
언젠간 부르겠죠
저도 되게 좋아하는 노래라서.
It's a song I really love too, RM says. Jin says, we will sing it someday.
원몰 나잇.
원몰
나잇 저만 불러였죠.
One more night, 저만 불어였죠. I was the only one who didn't like the song. J-Hope says while laughing.
저만 불러였죠.
원몰 날 싫어하던 사람 제이홉.
Yeah, the one who didn't like the song was J-Hope.
난 잘 모르겠다. 이거.
He said, 난 잘 모르겠다. I don't know about this one.
그렇게 잘 좋아하지 않아.
Taeyong admits, I didn't like it that much either.
원몰 날 진짜 좋은데 노래.
좋아요.
I really love that one, RM says.
결국 우리들의 목소리가 들어가니까 되게 좋더라고요.
J-Hope says, once our voices were in it, it was good. So, I guess what J-Hope meant was when he first listened to the demo track without the members' vocals in it, he wasn't really feeling it. But once they recorded the full BTS version, he liked it.
원몰 나이 좋아
아 우리 데모곡 다 틀어버리고 싶다.
태형, 우리 데모곡 다 틀어버리고 싶다. I want to play all our demo tracks.
지금 틀어줘
Play them.
아 우리 에일리언 데모곡.
Alien demo track, demo version?
호비 형 나중에 에일리언 그 초안 버전 한번 들려주세요.
야 지금
Hobi Young, please let us hear or let them hear the original draft version of Alien someday.
나 알아
오 마이 갓. When is your birthday? 이러잖아. 다 빠진 이유가 있을 거예요.
아 근데 그거 진짜 좋아.
다 빠진 이유가 있을 거예요.
When is your birthday?
지금
호비 형 나중에 에일리언 그 초안 버전 한번 들려주세요.
So I'm not sure if Jungkook is singing the original draft version of Alien or some other unreleased song.
지금
나 알아
오 마이 갓.
I know that one.
When is your birthday? 이러잖아. 다 빠진 이유가 있을 거예요.
Okay, so 다 빠진 이유가 있을 거예요. There must be a reason why it got taken out, why it got removed. So probably they're talking about the original draft version of Aliens where J-Hope was, probably J-Hope was doing the gibberish freestyle to come up with different melody ideas. And I guess apparently it's funny and it got taken out and they did new stuff there.
아 근데 그거 진짜 좋았어.
But I really liked it, Taeyong says.
야 송캠프 벌써 거의 1년 됐어.
나 랩했잖아 거기서.
이거
Song camp, it's already almost been a year.
야 송캠프 벌써 거의 1년 됐어.
나 랩했잖아 거기서.
나 랩했잖아 거기서. I rapped there. Okay, so in the draft version of Alien, Taeyong was doing a rap.
6월 말 되면 1월 초 되면 이제
송캠프 거의 1년 됐어요.
남준이 형.
By the end of June, it will be about a full year since the song camp last year.
예.
이 형 보시죠. 제 겨드랑이 좀 그만 좀 만지세요. 진짜 제발 부탁 좀 드립니다. 감사합니다.
1월 초 되면 이제
Jimin was doing something in the back.
거의 1년 됐어요.
남준이 형.
예.
이 형 보시죠.
아 이거 형 옷이죠? Is this yours? The thing that Jimin is wearing, the gray thing.
제 겨드랑이 좀 그만 좀 만지세요. 진짜 제발 부탁 좀 드립니다.
Meanwhile, Jin says in a very playfully angry tone, 제 겨드랑이 좀 그만 만지세요. Please stop touching my armpit. I seriously begging you.
감사합니다.
너한테도 맞네.
Oh, is that actually a jacket or something? So Jimin says thank you for letting me wear that.
들어가세요.
Please come in.
저거 퀘스천 있어요? 퀘스천
Any questions from armies?
질문 이런 거.
들어가세요.
많이 없어요. 뭐가
There aren't many.
지금 약간 좀 소통에 약간
소통에 살짝 하트와 매미가 좀 많은 이슈로
소통해요.
There are a bit too many hearts and marry me's,
일본어 하려고 하는데
so it's kind of hard to communicate.
와 근데 지금 361만 분이나 보고 계신데요.
But 3.61 million people are watching right now.
감사드립니다.
Thank you.
한국어를 배워야 되는데 어떻게 배우면 될까?
I need to learn Korean. How do I go about it?
한국어 어떻게 배우는 게
난
쉽습니까?
진짜 궁금한 게 이 베리를 적는 사람들은 진짜 결혼하고 싶어서 적는 거야.
Taehyung, in a very typical Taehyung style serious tone. I'm really curious about this. Always wonder about this. Like the people who are writing "Marry Me's," are they actually dying to get married, or are they actually writing it because they seriously want to get married?
약간 우리 얘기
적는 사람들은 진짜 결혼하고 싶어서 적는 거야.
아니 설마요.
아니지 약간
I 설마요? No way.
유행어 같은 거는 유행어 같은 거.
It's kind of like a catchphrase or a meme for us now.
윤기 메리미가 시작이었지.
Yoongi Marry Me thing started all this.
한국어 진짜 공부
한국어 요즘 그 SNS에
Learning Korean is really difficult.
한국어 가르쳐 주는 거 많잖아요.
There's so much Korean language content now on social media. Jungkook says.
한국어
Please
이런 거.
give me water.
해주세요.
나 그거 봤어. 나는 로...
Yeah, that's a song that we recently talked about. Yeah, it's a song that's supposed to teach you English, but it's kind of funny given the lyrical content. Give me a boyfriend. Please give me a boyfriend. 남친 주세요.
헤어던데.
이게 뭐야?
Please give me 남주 남친 주세요.
아 please give me leader 남준 주세요구나.
Please give me smart boy.
아 smart boy.
And apparently there are variations of that song.
Please give me boyfriend.
자, 그렇네요.
네. 아무튼 여러분들 너무 감사드립니다 진짜. 얘기거리가 한 3개.
다들 피곤해서.
아니야.
So I just noticed that there was a bit of silence there, where no one was talking, and
감사드립니다 진짜. 얘기거리가 한 3개.
그렇네요.
네. 아무튼 여러분들 너무 감사드립니다 진짜.
which is why Suga says, anyways, thank you so much, everyone.
얘기거리가 한 3개.
다들 피곤해서.
감사드립니다 진짜. 얘기거리가 한 3개.
다들 피곤해서.
I think Jin said they ran out of topics, and RM explains this is because they are all tired.
아니 그것보다는
뭐 talk about 그거 뭐 투어. 투어 뭐 어떻게 뭐 잘.
이번에는 되게 재밌었는데.
So J-Hope is bringing up the topic of World Tour again.
그러니까 우리
재밌었는데, it's been really fun, Suga says.
우리 첫 사실 긴 투어였잖아.
This really was our first proper long tour, in a way.
공연은 너무 좋았어요.
공연은 너무 좋았어요. The shows were so good.
공연은 너무 좋았어요.
그리고 또 관객분들을 그렇게 오랜만에 많이 만나 뵈니까
Jin, and seeing the audience again after so long, getting to see so many of them.
너무 좋고 행복하더라고요. 내가 이 자리에 있는 게 정말 막 영화 같고.
Yeah, it was just so good and happy being in this place. It really felt like a movie.
좀 그런 생각이 공연하면서 자주 들어요.
영화긴 해요.
I find myself thinking that often while performing.
진짜.
나 우리 한국
And RM says it's like a movie. 영화긴 해요. And that reminds me of what Jin said during the concert in Las Vegas. I remember him saying about that twice. Like one time he said, armies are making him feel like a character in a movie. Or the other day, I think it was the second concert, day 2 in Las Vegas, when he says, you know, that kind of special day when all of a sudden the world slows down and everything, like all the landscapes around you feel like a movie setting. So Jin is talking about that here too.
한국에서보다 이번 투어 패턴이 더 일정하고 더 깔끔한 것 같아요.
For me, this tour, more so than Korea, the routine has actually been more consistent and cleaner, Suga says.
맞다.
나는 딱 두 도시 여기랑 라스베가스랑 여기 전전
여기랑 라스베가스.
지역 그러니까 라스베가스랑 여기 전전 지역 멕시코 거기 두 지역이 잠이 진짜 안 왔어요.
For Jin, those two places, Las Vegas and Mexico City, I generally could not sleep.
일파소랑 템파.
너무 신나서 그런 거
감동을 너무
아니에요?
많이.
For RM, it was El Paso and Tampa. And Jungkook wonders, wasn't it because you were just too excited?
감동을 받아서 잠이 진짜 안 왔어요.
저 엘파소랑 템파.
너무 신나서 그런 거
감동을
아니에요?
너무 많이 받았네.
감동을 너무 많이 받는데, you were just so moved.
감동을 받아서 그런
그냥 너무
거구나 이게.
감동받아서
And Jin got the cue from Jungkook and Jimin. Oh, that was because I was just so moved.
영화에 몰입했네.
아 어쩐지 내 심장이 벌렁거려가지고 잠이 안 오더라.
근데요.
그래서
That's why my heart was beating just too quickly, so I couldn't fall asleep.
크레딧이 안 내려가.
근데 어제 저희가 좀 텐션이 많이 높긴 했어요.
아 너무 재밌었어.
But yesterday, the energy was really high yesterday. So the word tension, well, yeah, sometimes the English word tension is used this way too. But in Korea, we use the word tension to describe the energy level.
어제 너무 재밌었어. 어제 중간에 깜
And we had so much fun yesterday. It was so fun.
깜짝이야 끝나니까.
6만 천.
했어요.
아 너무 재밌었어.
어제 너무 재밌었어. 어제 중간에 깜짝이야 끝나니까.
Suga says again how his shins hurt after the show was over.
6만 천 분이나 오셨어요.
그러니까
There were 61,000 people who came.
여기 엘리한테 근데 공연이 너무 좋아.
근데 이게
공연 너무 좋아. The shows are just so good in LA.
약간 이제는 보면은 어떤 느낌이냐면
Looking at it now, what it feels like,
그 좀 비현실적이라 그래야 되나?
it's kind of surreal, 비현실적.
사람 그냥 팬분들이 너무 많으니까 좀 비현실적이에요. 되게
Because there are so many fans, it becomes a bit unreal.
그
영화 같은 거지.
It's kind of like a movie, Jin adds.
약간 그 뭐라 해야 되지? 약간 막 플스 게임 하면은 경기장에 사람들 모여 있는 그 만들어 놓은
얼굴 안 보이고 막.
예.
Like when you play a PlayStation soccer game, how the people are gathering in the stadium, it's kind of like made up.
저는 그때가
So it's the amount of armies there is so surreal that it makes him feel like he's in a movie or playing like a video game.
제일 감동적이에요.
충격적이긴
사실 아리랑이 그 우리나라에서 이제
맞아.
미녀잖아요. 근데
The moment that moved me the most was actually, how Arirang is a traditional Korean folk song.
그거를 이렇게
크게 떼창해 주실 때
해외 분들이 그거를 떼창해 주실 때 저는 와 이게 정말 가능한 일인가 싶어가지고
But when our international fans, international people sing along so loudly to Arirang like that, I always think to myself, is this really even possible? Is this real?
항상 그때 감동을 되게 많이 먹어요.
And every time that happens, I'm deeply moved. Yeah. I mean, that brings me back to, like a month ago or a couple months ago when the album was first dropped. There were so many discussions about, was this the right move? But yeah, it is quite iconic. So yeah, at this point, I think it was a very good move to include Arirang sample in Body to Body.
국뽕이 차오르긴 하더라고요.
국뽕이 차오르긴 하더라고요. 국뽕, that's a word for patriotism, right? So hearing that makes me filled with patriotism.
지코에서 진짜 컸고.
아리랑 쩔어.
네.
아리랑은 쩔어. 아리랑 is incredible.
인정드렸습니다.
그리고
차오른다.
인정드렸습니다. So I would like to acknowledge that.
뭐 거기를 다
팬분들이
따라해주죠.
이벤트로 또막또 국기 들어주고
And the fans did the fan event with the national. Actually, yeah. When he said 국뽕, it's not really patriotism, but national pride. Actually, it could be both, either national pride or patriotism. But here, J-Hope is pointing out how the fans were doing the fan event, waving the Korean flags, 태극기.
솔직히 그때는 뭐 호석이 형이랑도 둘이 얘기했지만 엄청 울컥하고 이게 모르겠어요. 이게 뭔지 모르겠는데.
Honestly, at that moment, 호석이 형 and I talked about it too. I was completely choked up, startled even. I don't know what to say.
한 번 눈물 고였는데.
At one point, RM was tearing up.
우리나라 국기를 들고 아리랑을 불러준 게 이게 왜 이렇게
Like seeing the fans holding 태극기, our country's flag, and singing 아리랑. Why does it feel so like there's something to it? Jimin said. Huh? Wow. And yeah, they thanked the fans during the Weverse live stream for doing that. It was at Stanford, correct? Was there any other venue when armies did that? I remember them saying thank you for doing that during the Weverse live stream that they did in Stanford. But apparently that moved the members so much, especially Jimin.
감사한 일이지 않나.
이제 가는 곳마다 태극기가
미친
좀 많이
일이죠
보여.
사실 미친 일.
감사한 일이지 않나 is something that we are so thankful about, grateful for, and it's insane, Jimin even describes.
딴된 일이고.
정말
It's crazy, it makes no sense, truly.
우리 조상님들이 행복하실 겁니다.
어제
Meanwhile, Jungkook and Jin are just playing.
딴된 일이고.
정말 우리 조상님들이 행복하실 겁니다.
RM, 조상님들이 행복하실 겁니다. Our ancestors would be very happy.
어제 그 디플로 왔잖아요.
Yesterday, Diplo was here, right?
디플로 너무 찍혀 보이고 부채랑 우리나라 국기 플래그 들고 있더라고.
그 부채
Yeah, Diplo, when he got caught on camera, he was felt holding a fan, the traditional Korean style fan.
근데
디플로 너무 찍혀 보이고 부채랑 우리나라 국기 플래그 들고 있더라고.
Yeah, yeah, this is what J-Hope was talking about. Diplo holding that Korean style fan in his right hand, and in his left hand he was holding the Korean flag, 태극기.
그 부채는 근데 되게 많이 들고 오시더라.
The fan. So many people brought that item to the concert.
근데
부채는 근데 되게 많이 들고 오시더라.
그치.
Oh, it's our merch.
그 부채였어?
Is it our merch? Jin says.
근데
모르면 어떻게
우리 구자.
굿즈를 모르면 어떡해?
그치.
그 부채였어?
근데
모르면 어떻게 우리
Yeah, Jungkook says. Come on. Why don't you know about our own merch?
구자. 우리 구찌.
아 부채였어.
근데 이게 참
J-Hope didn't know about it too either. Is it our merch? And RM explains, yes, indeed.
부채가 있어.
참 국기를 들어준다는 게 이게 마음이 좀 이상한 것 같아요.
Jimin, going back to the topic of seeing fans holding our national flag. So holding the flag like that, it stirs something in me.
특이하죠. 한복 입으신 분들도 많이.
많이 봤죠.
There are so many people in hanbok too. Hanbok, the traditional Korean outfit. And there are so many of them.
그리고 에일리언 그 외계인 복장 입으신 분들도 많이 계시고.
Also, there were many people dressed as aliens
남준이 그 모나카노 모자 쓴 사람들도 많고.
and wearing 남준's 코라파다 Pokemon hat.
뭐 요즘 뭐 많아요. 예. 그리고 우리
There's just so much these days.
우리 팬미팅 때 입었던 무슨 어린이 복장 있어요. 그 줄무늬 빨간색 스트라이프.
And the outfit that we wore at the fan meeting, like the kids' costumes, red and white stripes.
정말 사랑은 위대한 것 같습니다.
Love is truly something great, Namjoon says.
와 근데 나 그것도 봤어. 호비 HOBI 이렇게
I saw that too. HOBI, H-O-B-I.
그 네온 사인에서 진짜 크게 호비.
나도 저기 멀리.
맞아 저기 위에 있었어.
The huge neon sign with HOBI written on it. It's far in the back.
그래서 와 저거 어떻게 한 거지?
혹시 개명사 없어?
And I was like, how did they even do that? Okay, I tried to look for it, but I couldn't find any on social media.
제이홉에서 호비.
이거 어쩌다 호비가 됐는지. 예.
그러니까 정호비로 그냥.
호비도 안 했어.
호비로 개명.
So how did HYBE even become a thing? So it's from J-Hope to HYBE. And Jimin even says, oh, how about you could actually legally change it to HYBE? Like 정호비, like 호비 정.
네, 혹시 개명 생각 없어요? 제이홉에서 호비.
Oh, actually, it was RM who said that.
호비.
그래서 와 저거 어떻게 한 거지?
네, 혹시 개명 생각 없어요? 제이홉에서 호비.
How about you legally changing your name from 호석 to HYBE?
이거 어쩌다 호비가 됐는지. 예.
그러니까 정호비로 그냥.
Actually, no. Sorry.
혹시 개명 생각 없어요? 제이홉에서 호비.
Are you thinking of changing your name from J-Hope to HYBE? That's what ARM says.
이거 어쩌다 호비가 됐는지. 예.
How did HYBE even become a thing? J-Hope
그러니까
said.
정호비로 그냥.
Yeah, why don't you just change it to 정호비?
호비도 안 했어.
호비로 개명해도 되겠다.
Yeah, you could actually legally change it like that, Jin says.
호비야.
여기.
Everyone calls you 호비야.
우리가 막 호비가 이래가지고.
아 이거 투어 재밌어. 아 진짜 재밌어.
경험하고 있습니다.
The tour is so fun.
진짜 덕분입니다. 예.
It's all thanks to you guys.
언제 템파나 엘파소를 하고 있습니까?
그러니까요.
Yeah, when would we be able to perform in Tampa and El Paso?
딱 하나 빼고 약간 가끔씩 그냥 집이 가고 싶다 그냥 그거 하고.
Except for one thing, sometimes I feel like I want to go home.
솔직히 집은 진짜
집은 집이잖아.
그거는 사.
That he, to be honest, yeah, I sometimes miss home. And 집은 집이잖아. Home is after all home.
어쩔 수 없는 사람의 본능이에요.
그런
It's just an unavoidable human instinct.
의미에서 이번에 부산 무대가 또 저희가 있지
아주
않습니까?
멋있.
In that sense, this time we got the Busan concerts too.
이제 페스타도 있을 거고, 그렇죠?
나 진짜 오랜만에 가.
부산 무대가 또 저희가 있지
아주
않습니까?
멋있습니다. 이제 페스타도 있을 거고, 그렇죠?
And then there will be Festa too, right? J-Hope says. And yes, I am so excited about BTS Festa this year. Coming up really, in a week. The month of June is almost here.
나 진짜 오랜만에 가.
이제 곧 6월이지.
And it's been so long for me, Jimin said.
시간 진짜 빠르다.
내가 볼 때는 우리 눈 감았다 뜨면 진짜 오래 끝나자.
Time flies. 진짜 빠르다.
정말
6월이지. 진짜
It's gonna be June soon.
시간 진짜 빠르다.
내가 볼 때는 우리 눈 감았다 뜨면 진짜 오래 끝나자.
정말
Yeah, it goes by so fast. And from my perspective, J-Hope says, this year will be over once we blink. That's an expression describing how time flies.
제가 이 자리를 빌어서 꼭 하고 싶었던 말이 있어요.
There's something I really wanted to say, and I'd like to take this moment to say it.
되게 궁금한데요.
부산의 그
I'm very curious, Jimin says.
숙박업소 관련해서 뉴스가 너무 많이 나와요.
아 맞아요.
Ooh. Okay, I wonder what RM is about to say. And it's something that I covered in my video recently. There's been a lot of news about accommodations in Busan.
사실
조금 마음이 안 좋습니다.
그래
Jimin said, 조금 마음이 안 좋습니다. It's a little upsetting.
시지 않으셨으면 좋겠어요.
이게
그러시지 않으셨으면 좋겠네요. RM said, I hope people won't do that. And here he's addressing the business people, owners of the accommodations, hiking up prices. So price gouging, which has been an issue in Busan.
이게 사실 어떻게 보면 되게 기쁜 일인데.
저희가 사실
It is a happy thing, after all.
길게 봐야 되잖아요. 뭐든. 진짜
에바야. 부산 요즘
But we have to think long term.
어떻게 보면 되게 기쁜 일인데.
저희가 사실 길게 봐야 되잖아요. 뭐든.
진짜 에바야. 부산 요즘
And Jungkook says, 그거 진짜 에바야, meaning just too much.
요즘
What those accommodations are doing.
관광지로 되게
부산 요새 되게 힙한
분위기 되게 좋은데.
우리
And Busan these days, as a tourist destination, has such a hip vibe lately. It's been very popular.
한국의 마이애미다. 약간 이런
It's like Korea's Miami.
느낌으로 되게 뜨고 있는데 여기 또 부산
It's kind of blown up in that direction.
씨 2명이나 있고
And we have two members from Busan.
분들이 오셨을 때 그냥 좋은 기억만 가지고 갔으면 좋겠네요.
And when our fans come, I just want them to leave with only good memories.
저처럼 부산에 와서
해라.
They're coming to Busan for a rare opportunity.
이 문제는
좋은 기억만 가지고 갔으면 좋겠네요. 저처럼 부산에 와서
해라. 이 문제
Jungkook, 고마해라. Stop doing that. Is saying that in like a dialect style.
우리가
And that got J-Hope laughing.
해결하고 싶어도 어떻게 해결할 수
수
없어.
없으니까.
자꾸 부산 출신 막 한마디 해주지. 이 문제는 우리가 해결하고 싶어도 어떻게 해결할 수 없어.
없으니까.
But it's an issue that we cannot fix, even if we wanted to fix it.
자꾸 부산 출신 한마디 해주십시오.
Now RM, in also in a dialect style, suggests to Jungkook, hey, like, actually, yeah, to Jimin, as someone from Busan, please say something.
제가 대구 사람이면은
안 돼요 진짜로.
And that's what Jimin did.
제가 대구 사람이면은
안 돼요 진짜로.
그러면 안 돼요, 진짜요. Yeah, you're really not supposed to do that.
근데 부산 사람들이 한번 얘기해 주시죠.
태영, if I were
대구 사람이면은
안 돼요 진짜로.
얘기를 할 텐데 부산 사람들이 한번 얘기해 주시죠.
okay, what he meant was if this were about Daegu, I would say something for real.
제가 대구 사람이면은
안 돼요 진짜로.
얘기를 할 텐데
I'll be responsible. I'll feel the responsibility and would say something.
부산 사람들이 한번 얘기해 주시죠.
But let the Busan people say it. Jungkook said, 고마해라 one more time. Don't do that.
물론 그럴 수 있죠. 약간
J-Hope loves it.
물론 이 돈이라는 게
아니 물론 이제 원래
물론 그럴 수 있죠. Of course that can happen because of course is the thing about money. 돈이라는 게.
성수기 비수기
아니,
운동이
너무 심하잖아,
변동이 있는데 그거 안 좋아.
Of course there's that natural fluctuation between peak and off season.
너무 심하잖아.
저 땅에는 물론 이제 원래 성수기 비수기
아니,
운동이
너무
변동이
심하잖아,
있는데
Jimin goes, 그건 너무 심하잖아. They stepped over the line. It's too much.
그거 안 좋아.
너무 심하잖아.
저 땅에도 하십시다 진짜로.
적당히들 하십시다 진짜로. Let's all be reasonable about it, seriously, because that's just not right.
적당히 좀 합시다 진짜로.
And the funny part about this is that they're speaking in the dialect. 적당히 하십시다. Kind of like how Jungkook says, 고마해라.
진짜 적당히 하셔야죠.
대한민국 사람들이
Oh wow, I'm quite impressed how direct they are being right now in terms of addressing the issue, and they are really, talking to those business owners. Wow, yeah, I'm impressed.
북한에
몇 배로
합시다 진짜로.
진짜 적당히 하셔야죠.
대한민국 사람들이
북한에
대한민국 사람이면, if you're a Korean citizen, you're not supposed to do that.
몇 배로 올리지
말라고요 진짜.
And he's even pointing his finger. 그러지 말라고요. You're not supposed to do that or stop doing that.
나도 이제 뭐 이제 직접
사람들이
북한에
진짜
몇 배로 올리지
말라고요.
몇 배나 올리시는 거예요. Jimin says, don't multiply prices several times over.
나도 이제 뭐 이제 직접분들이랑 오는데 그거 없대. 방이 없대. 방이 없대.
Suga says, even hearing that my relatives are coming, but they cannot find rooms. There are no rooms.
내려오신 분들 기차 구하기도 힘들걸요.
Getting a train ticket itself is probably hard.
그래서 막 어떤 분들은 무슨 무박으로 막 찜질방이나 이런 데서 막 왔다 갔다.
So some people are going without a place to stay, and they're just going back and forth between 찜질방 and places like that. So 찜질방 is the sauna, very popular sauna places in Korea, and a lot of people actually spend nights there if they cannot find any like hotels or motels to stay in.
아 이건 아니잖아요 진짜로.
But that's genuinely not okay.
남준, 너가 부산에 숙박업을 하나 하자.
Jin, Namjoon, why don't you open a hotel or accommodation in Busan? Do a accommodation business.
좋다.
Jungkook goes, 좋다. That's a good idea.
괜찮다.
Jimin agrees. 괜찮다. That sounds great.
아니 형이 지역별로
진짜로. 아니야, 각자 지역별로 하나씩 숙박업을 해가.
근데 솔직히
Or each of us opens a hotel in our respective hometowns.
형 호텔 살 수 있잖아요.
But
야,
honestly, Hyung, you could just buy a hotel, Taeyong says.
남준아, 너 진짜 대박이다.
야,
Okay, now they're taking this direction. Jin goes, so they're teasing RM. Jin says, wow, 대박이다. You are really something else. Look at RM's reaction.
이런 말도 안 되는 걸 물어봐. 나를 무슨
이런 말도 안 되는. You guys are really doing this. It just doesn't make sense.
야 씨.
야, 남준아, 너 포켓몬 카드 1조 원어치 샀다는 소문이 있어.
In Namjoon, there's a rumor that you bought 1,000,000,000 worth of Pokemon cards.
야 그것만 팔아도 야 부산에 그냥 와 제일 좋은
Just sell those, and in Busan you could just set up a hotel.
건 다 가지고 있다는 소문이 있던데.
They say that you have the best of everything with the Pokemon cards. Alright, jokingly says it's so stressful.
자 아무튼 그러지 마. 아무튼 부산
Okay, anyway, don't do that.
네 우리가 또 재밌는 것 같아요. 네.
But for Busan,
패스 얼마 안 남았어.
뭔가
it's going to be fun again. So I guess they have finished talking about addressing the issue. And again, I appreciated the fact that they are directly addressing the social one of the social issues right now, how accommodation places in Busan are hiking up the prices, and even to the point of canceling the original reservations so that they could change prices, which is just so wrong. And I made a video about it, and Buddhist temples have opened themselves up and volunteer to take in foreign tourists for free even. Anyways,
뭔가를 또 저희가
I never imagined that they will be talking about this in this particular Weverse live stream.
우리가 또 재밌는 것 같아요. 네.
패스 얼마 안 남았어.
뭔가를 또
But we're gonna have so much fun in Busan, and Suga says Festa 얼마 안 남았어. Festa isn't far off.
저희가 또 뭔가를
약간
이달 또
근데 너무 의미 있는 날이긴
Okay, it sounds like they have something special prepared. 우리가 뭔가 이게 또 we have something, and then Jungkook goes 약간 a little bit. So yeah, something is coming. Something big is coming.
하다. 진짜 우리 생일날 가지고 공연을 할 수 있다는
12, 13이죠.
너무 의미 있는 날이긴 하다.
It's such a meaningful day.
진짜 우리 생일날 가지고 공연을 할 수 있다는
12, 13이죠.
The fact that we are able to perform on our birthday,
공연장 구한 것도 참
그러니까
날짜도 맞고.
finding the venue itself was quite something, and the dates lined up too.
당김에 좀 맛있는 것도 먹죠.
밀면
Why don't we eat something good there?
밀면 해왔어. 밀면 사전에 해왔어.
어제
Busan 밀면. It's like a cold noodle that is famous in Busan. Oh, seeing this actually makes me hungry. So it's a local food.
해야지. 막 강아지 가서 등긴데 나스.
네 기절 공장 강아지.
3월에 해야지. 막 강아지 가서 등긴데 나스.
네 기절 공장.
관리 가서 등기는 갔어. First of all, he said 해야지. So we should eat 밀면 in Busan. 한 4월 해야지. We should have a bowl of 밀면 in Busan. And 관리 is a famous beach in Busan. As famous as 해운대. There are two famous beaches in Busan. This is 해운대 and this is 관리. So RM said something about 관리.
어제 3월에 해야지.
4월 해야지.
막 강아지 가서 등긴데 나스.
네 기절 공.
관리 가서 등기는 갔어. I didn't know what he said after saying 관리.
강아지에서 들킨 드나스는 뭐야?
And Jin obviously didn't understand what he said either. What did you just say? 관리 가서 등긴 드나스는 뭐야? What does that even mean?
등긴 드나스가 유명하네.
우리는
등긴 드나스가 유명하대요. That 등긴 드나스 is very famous there.
시켜 먹어야지 뭐.
아니 거기 무슨
We should get delivery.
뭐그 고깃집 유명한 데 하나 있지 않나?
Isn't there a famous grill place there?
암소갈비. 거기 그리고 이재모 피자.
암소갈비 and 이재모 pizza. Alright. 부산 암소갈비. Oh, alright. It's in Haeundae, the beach that I showed you early. It's near the Haeundae beach. And then what else they said? 이재모 pizza. 부산 이재모 pizza. I guess it's a pizza place. Ah, in 남포동. Alright.
맞아. 돼지 순대국밥.
맞아.
이렇게 얘기해주면
여러분. 자 이제 얘기했으니까 저희 못 가네요. 그리고 이재모 피자.
맞아.
돼지 순대국밥.
돼지 순대국밥. 돼지 순대국밥. So RM is name dropping all the famous places in Busan. But then RM goes,
이렇게 얘기해주면
since we name dropped these restaurants, that means that we cannot go.
이제 얘기했으니까 저희 못 가네요.
Yeah. Now that we've talked about them, we cannot go there.
거기는 저희가
And 태영,
거니까요. 근데 안 가도 되게 핫한 곳 아니에요? 역시 원래 안 가.
I think Taeyong is silently protesting about the fact that Namjoon publicly disclosed those names.
그러니까요. 근데 안 가도 되게 핫한 곳 아니에요? 역시
And Suga, everyone, we're not going there, just so you know.
약간 원래 유명한 대전의 성심당 같은데.
J-Hope. But even without us going, aren't those places already super hot places? Super popular? Kind of like the famous 삼신당 in Daejeon. 삼신당 is the most famous bakery shop in Korea, which is located in Daejeon. Yeah, Daejeon city is famous for that. So it's kind of like that.
케이터링 안 될까요?
우리 제발
혹시 포장 된다면 저희는 케이터링 대박이다.
혹시 그 이재복 기자 케이터링 안 될까요?
암소갈비 케이터링 아니 그냥 너무 좋다. 배달 암소갈비 케이터링 너무 좋다. 어떻게 구워 먹을 걸 반이라.
So they are requesting these restaurants to do catering service for them, or asking if that's possible. And J-Hope even wonders if amsogalbi, this Korean BBQ place, could do catering for them. And they're like, how is that even possible? Although it sounds amazing.
케이터링 저기 지원 받습니다.
아니 지원이 아니.
Catering 지원 받습니다. We are receiving applications for the catering service.
저희가 이렇게 모셔야죠.
No, it's not even that. We should be the ones to invite them.
광안리 해수욕장 케이터링 안 될까요?
광안 이렇게 모셔야죠.
광안리
공모합니다. Yes. Jungkook is playfully encouraging the restaurants to send applications.
해수욕장 케이터링 안 될까요?
And RM is being extra playful. Can Kwanli Beach itself do a catering service for us?
광안리 해수욕장 케이터링은 뭘?
And Jin was like, what are you even talking about? Like, Kwanli Beach catering service? How is that even doable? And Jimin almost threw up while drinking the champagne.
밀키트 뮤직으로 매일
요즘 해운대는 어떤 분이
Jungkook, please send emails to Big Hit Music email applications.
나는 암소갈비 케이터링 진짜
여름에 틀었지 않아요?
근데 잘안 가지.
요즘 해운대는 어떤 분위기입니까?
J-Hope asked Namjoon, 요즘 해운대는 어떤 분위기입니까? What's the vibe at 해운대 nowadays? The beach? This one?
암소갈비 케이터링 진짜
여름에 틀었지 않아요?
근데 잘안 가지.
Jin says, 암소갈비 catering은 진짜로, I think he's very seriously excited or really wants to experience the catering service for the BBQ place. And yeah, that sounds amazing. And if those restaurant owners are very, if they're staying up to, what am I even saying that? If I were the owner, the owner of the restaurant, yeah, I would reach out to Big Hit and say that I've heard from people that BTS members talked about our restaurant and would love to receive the catering service. We'll be all for it.
나 겨울 해운대를 좋아해.
모셔보고 싶어. 오케이. 그러니까 해운대를 가서 거기서 바다를 본다.
Alright, so there are two conversations happening at the same time. Let's start here. J-Hope asked RM, what is the vibe at Haeundae nowadays? And RM says that I prefer going to Haeundae in the winter times.
부산. 오케이. 그러니까 해운대를 가서 거기서 바다를 본다. 부산 사람 아니고.
아무튼 부산.
해운대를 가서 거기서 바다를 본다. 부산 사람 아니고.
부산 사람 아니고. Okay. Suga says, if you go to Haeundae and see the ocean, then you are not from Busan. Meaning only the tourists go to Haeundae to see the beach, not the locals.
아무튼 부산. 기대하고 있습니다. 여러분 기대해 주셔서
너무 기대돼요.
So RM says that please look forward to Busan. Meanwhile,
여름에 틀었지 않아요?
근데 잘안 가지.
나 겨울 해운대를 좋아해.
모셔보고 싶어.
I would love to invite them to come to the catering service again talk about the Busan 암소 갈비 place. And Jungkook says,
그러니까 해운대를 가서 거기서 후보 1번 다달고
후보 1번, candidate number 1.
부산 사람 아니고
자, 아무튼 부산 기대하고 있습니다. 여러분 기대해 주셔도 좋습니다.
너무 기대돼요 부산도.
저희가 부직샵 했었죠.
그쵸.
그다음에 엑스포 했었죠.
그쵸.
그다음에 거의 한 4년 반, 4년 만에 4년 만에. 네.
So RM is talking about the last time they performed in Busan, and then we also did the expo free concert, hoping that Busan will be able to host the expo. So it's been 4 years, 4.5 years.
22년
부산도 공연하기 좋아요. 또 사람들이
Busan is great for performing.
호응이 좋아가지고.
근데 정말
The crowd response was great.
잘 놀죠.
시간으로 올라갔거든요.
살아있죠.
근데 그 공연장 엄청 컸었던 기억이 있는데.
컸죠.
아시아 경기장.
Yeah, it was super fun, and then the venue was enormous.
네, 그쵸.
야 이거 하고 군대 간다.
아시아는
그런
진짜
심정으로 올라갔거든요.
오랜만이다.
맞아.
And our approach was like, we're gonna perform, we're gonna kill it there, and then go to the military.
아 그때 나 진짜 마지막 공연이다. 저
It
진짜
was a last performance before our military service.
마지막 눈물 흘렸거든요 진짜.
And I genuinely cried inside.
아직도 그때 그 감정이 잊혀지지가 않는다.
그
I
공연이
still cannot forget the emotions from that show, Joe says.
저는 진짜 그거 안 하고 군대 갈라 했었는데 남준이가 붙잡고 형 이건 해야 돼. 이거 하면 우리 언제 공연할지 몰라 이러면서
왜냐면 그 당시 우리
Seokjin says, I was actually going to skip it and go straight to the military, but Namjoon grabbed me and said, Hyung, we have to do this. If we don't do this show, who knows when we'll be able to perform again as a group.
얘기했던 게
이건이 저는 진짜 그거 안 하고 군대 갈라 했었는데 남준이가 붙잡고 형 이건 해야 돼. 이거 하면 우리 언제 공연할지 몰라 이러면서
왜냐면 그 당시 우리 얘기했던 게 이제 우리 가기 전에 그래도 인사는 드리고 가야 되지 않나.
Yeah, because back then, what we talked about was, Jimin says, before we go, meaning before we go to the military, at least we should say goodbye properly.
해야지 정말.
그치 우리 얘기 진짜 많이 했어.
시간 많이 지났습니다 여러분.
So this is something we talked about so much. And J-Hope says, a lot of time has passed.
그냥 군대 가려고 했었어요.
We were really just going to go to the military.
이걸 들어왔던 걸로 기억하는데
남준이가 진짜 붙잡고
I remember it was very hot.
형 이거 진짜 해야 돼.
Jin repeating what he said earlier, how Namjoon grabbed him and begged him to perform before going to the military.
그리고 안에 하나 컴백을 못 할 수도 있잖아요 저희가.
그렇죠.
Because in case there was even a chance we couldn't have a comeback ever.
정말 누가
근데 형한테 그 배려해
그리고 안에 하나 컴백을 못 할 수도 있잖아요 저희가.
그렇죠.
정말 누가
근데 형한테 그 배려해준 형한테 고맙게 생각해요 진짜로.
Let me rewind a bit in case I missed something.
그래도 인사는 드리고 가야 되지
그치
않나.
인사는 해야지 정말.
그치 우리 얘기 진짜 많이 했어.
시간 많이 지났습니다 여러분.
그냥 군대 가려고 했었어요.
부산 이걸 들어왔던 걸로 기억하는데
남준이가
시간 많이 지났습니다 여러분.
그냥 군대 가려고 했었어요.
부산 이걸 들어왔던 걸로 기억하는데
남준이가 진짜 붙잡고 형 이거 진짜 해야 돼.
왜냐면 저희가 그리고 안에 하나 컴백을 못 할 수도 있잖아요 저희가.
그렇죠.
정말 누가
근데 형한테 그 배려해준 형한테 고맙게 생각해요 진짜로.
Okay, I think I got everything. I couldn't hear what Taeyong was saying. And Jimin says, while shaking Jin's hand, I really feel grateful to Hyung for that consideration.
우리 엄청 덥대
빨리 가고 서로
장마 시작이라
배려하는 거죠.
확실히
서로 배려한 거죠. We were, considering each other,
엄청 덥대
each other's situation.
빨리 가고 서로
장마 시작이라
배려하는 거죠.
확실히
아니 뭐다
우리 엄청 덥대
빨리 가고 서로
장마 시작이라
배려하는 거죠.
확실히
So yeah, the fact that Jin had to readjust his schedule, military service schedule, is something that the members feel appreciative about. But Jin said that all the members did similar things in terms of adjusting their schedules.
진짜 시끄러워
어?
일단 비가
Taeyong said something that I was about to say. 진짜 시끄럽다. We are just so loud.
안 오길. 비가 안 오길.
비
J-Hope, 비가 안 오길. First, I hope it doesn't rain.
얘 비.
비.
Jimin. I never expected Jimin to make a joke like that. 비 와요. V is coming. Because B sounds like P, which means rain in Korean.
비는 오면 안 돼요.
비는 와야지.
비는 안 오면 큰일 나지.
Yeah, B는 안 오면 큰일 나지. Like, it would be disastrous if V doesn't come.
와야죠.
그래 가서
So V should come, but rain must not come.
그 한번 막 금시라고 이런 거 한번 해주면 안 돼? 레전드 사투리 있잖아.
금시라고 그거 대구야.
Can you just, go on stage and do that legendary dialect? 그 무시라고. Like, 그 무시라고. What are you talking about? Or what are you up to? Or what is it?
아 대구랑 부산이랑 사투리가 달라? 달라?
But that dialect is actually 대구 dialect. And Jin asked a question. 대구 and Busan dialects are different? Of course they're different, they said.
말이 좀 달라요.
그 무시라고를
아니,
부산어로 하면
맞아요.
어떻게 해?
So what if you say 그 무시라고 in Busan dialect version?
억양도 달라요.
억양이 다른 거지.
The tones are different.
대구 수준말
The intonation is different.
말도 다른
왜냐면
게
대구는 원래 그
억양
Yeah, they are super loud.
다른 거지.
대구 수준말이라고.
And the words they use are also different.
왜냐면 대구는 원래 그 약간 억양이 조금 더 세지 않아요?
Because Daegu dialect, the intonation is a bit stronger, right?
두세가 좀 쓰지 약간 아니 그 서울 사람들이나 경기도 사람들이 생각하는 그 경상 사투리는 부산 사투리지. 귀여워 사람들이
약간 억양이 조금 더 세지 않아요?
두세가 좀 쓰지 약간 아니 그 서울 사람들이나 경기도 사람들이 생각하는
I don't know what Jimin is laughing about.
그
세지 않아요?
두세가 좀 쓰지 약간 아니 그 서울 사람들이나 경기도 사람들이 생각하는 그 경상 사투리는 부산 사투리지. 귀여워.
뭐한데 얘? 그 부산은 어떻게 하냐? 그 뭐 한대 얘 이렇게 해야 돼?
그 무시라고가 모르겠어.
그뭐 하려고
그게 뭐라고 이거잖아요. 그 뭐라고? 약간 이러잖아.
너만 안 돼.
Okay, this is challenging. So let me backtrack a bit.
아니 그 부산은 어떻게 하냐?
그 경상 사투리 쓰지 약간 아니
근데 그 약간 억양이 조금 더 세지 않아요?
두세가 좀 쓰지 약간
So Suga agrees with Taehyung that intonation in Daegu is a bit stronger.
아니 그 서울 사람들이나 경기도 사람들이 생각하는 그 경상 사투리는 부산 사투리지. 귀여워.
So
약간 억양이 조금
대구
말이라고.
말도 다른
왜냐면
게
대구는 원래 그 약간 억양이 조금 더 세지 않아요?
두세가 좀 쓰지 약간 아니 그 서울 사람들이나 경기도 사람들이 생각하는 그 경상 사투리는
So when Seoul people or Gyeonggi province people think of hold on. Jimin's laughter is so loud.
서울 사람들이나 경기도 사람들이 생각하는 그 경상 사투리는
So, all right, so Gyeongsangdo is a province, name of the province. Right here, southern end. So when people in Seoul, the capital region, or Gyeonggi-do province, near the capital, think of the Gyeongsangdo province dialect, usually they are thinking about Busan dialect. Suga explains.
귀여워.
뭐한데 얘?
Yeah, like Mande. Meanwhile, Jimin was laughing because Jungkook was asking how are you supposed to say 그 뭐시라고 in Busan dialect? Maybe.
그 서울 사람들이나
억양이 조금 더 세지 않아요?
말도 다른
왜냐면
게
대구는 원래 그
Yeah, sorry I'm doing this like multiple times, but it's kind of challenging.
약간 억양이 조금 더 세지 않아요?
두세가 좀 쓰지 약간 아니 그 서울
Yeah, so Jungkook said 그 뭐라 하지? How am I supposed to say it in Busan dialect? 그 무시라고. By the way, 그 무시라고. I just found this. It's a phrase, and they even this news channel made a video about it. 그 무시라고 is a phrase very popular among BTS fans and BTS members, and it's something that V's father said to Taehyung when he was a trainee. So it's a Gyeongsangdo dialect phrase that translates to "what's the big deal" or "it's nothing." It's nothing burger, and it is mainly used to comfort someone or to reassure oneself or someone else when facing difficulties or making a mistake, carrying the meaning of like it's no big deal. You can just do better next time. And the phrase has become famous among fans as a magical phrase of positivity. And it's something that Taehyung's father said to Taehyung when he was a trainee. Like, 그 무시라고 다시 이기면 되지. If you have a challenge, if you're faced with a challenge, it's no big deal. You can just overcome it or do better next time.
서울 사람들이나 경기도 사람들이 생각하는 그 경상 사투리는 보통 부산 사투리지. 귀여운.
And Jungkook is trying to think of the answer, how you're supposed to say that in Busan dialect.
그 부산은 어떻게 하냐? 그 뭐 한대 얘 이렇게 해야 돼.
그 무시라고가 모르겠어.
So Namjoon asked that question again, how you're supposed to say that in Busan.
뭐 하려고
그게 뭐라고 이거잖아요.
Jungkook clarifying. So 그 뭐시라고 is supposed to mean 그게 뭐라고. It's no big deal, right?
그 뭐라고? 약간 이러잖아.
So I guess you can say 그 뭐라고 if you're trying to say this in Busan dialect. I don't know why Jimin is laughing that hard though.
아니 근데 사투리가 이게 진짜.
원래 나 기억이 잘
저기 광주.
기억이 잘 안 나. I cannot remember. Probably referring to dialect, his own dialect.
아니 근데 사투리가 이게 진짜.
원래 나 기억이 잘
저기 광주.
나는 솔로야?
야 광수가 나오네.
Alright, I hope you guys don't mind me replaying this because there's a lot to explain. J-Hope is from Gwangju, the city of Gwangju. But accidentally, Jungkook says Gwangsu, which is a person's name, usually a guy's name. And in a very popular dating program called 나는 솔로. Why am I explaining this? I'm Solo is a TV show where like guys and girls meet each other for dates. There's always designated characters' names, and Kwangsu is one of them, which is why RM says, "What are you? Are you talking about 나는 Solo? I'm Solo, the TV show?" So that's the context. J-Hope asked Jungkook, "Do you often use dialects?" But at the same time, Jungkook asked J-Hope, "How are you supposed to say that in Gwangju dialect?"
사투리가 이게 진짜.
원래 나 기억이
I just want to say that the vibe, they are in a very happy vibe that anything could be hilarious and funny. Like, look at Jimin, he's dying.
야 광수.
Yeah, 나는 솔로냐? RM said, yeah, are you watching the TV show or something? I'm Solo, the dating program.
야 광수가 나오네.
Yeah, Kwangsu came up. So RM is encouraging J-Hope or asking J-Hope to say the phrase in Gwangju dialect, and he goes, 그 무엇이다냐?
야 빨래 했냐? 연습하게 잊을 수가 없어.
Jimin is imitating the Gwangju dialect. 빨래 했냐? Have you done the laundry? 빨랫줄에 걸린다. Hanging on the clothesline. I can never forget that one, Jimin says. 항시 means 항상, means always.
와 저희 외삼촌 장 사람이거든요. 와 진짜 욕을 정말 잘하세요.
My maternal uncle is from Chang. I don't know what he's talking about, Chang. Anyways, he says my uncle is really talented at swearing.
내가 너무 좋아해요 그래서.
And I love it so much.
이쪽에 뭐 충청도 쪽은 없어요?
저 원래
Anyone from the Chungcheong province? 충청도. Is here.
사실 저 부모님 두 분 다 충청도예요.
Actually, both my parents are from Chungcheong province. RM says.
우리 부모님 충청도라서 사실 나도 충청도 어떻게 알아?
Same with my parents, Jin says.
사실 저 부모님 두 분 다 충청도예요.
야, 그 우리 부모님 충청도라서 사실 나도 충청도 어떻게 알아? 어떻게?
Jimin is asking about Chungcheong province dialect.
나 그거 봤어. 충청도.
충청도
김만 다녀봤다고 하지 마라.
아니 사투리 요즘 안 쓰는데 그.
아니요.
다녀봤다.
충청도는
나 그거 봤어. 충청도.
Okay, 그냥 혀, just go for it, or just do it. 그냥 혀.
김만 다녀봤다고 하지 마라.
And RM goes, 하지 마라. Don't do that. Stop doing that.
아니 사투리 요즘 안 쓰는데 그.
아니요.
And Suga says, I think nowadays people don't really use the dialects much anymore.
중국 사람들.
갱상도 하면
아니 사투리 요즘 안 쓰는데 그.
아니요.
중국 사람들.
충청도 사람들이. So Suga is saying that people in Chungcheong province nowadays don't really use the dialects.
갱상도 하면
조금씩은 있잖아.
혀가 기본이야. 뭐뭐 혀 이게 기본이야.
그냥
혀가 기본이야. So the base case with Chungcheong province dialect is the ending whatever phrase you say with the word 혀. Like 그냥 혀, just do it. Or 그만 혀, stop doing that.
난 충청도에
영자들
돌려
봐.
말하기
파는 놈이 알지 파는 놈이 알겠어요.
돌려 말. 그게 충청도.
네, 또.
난 충청도에
영자들
돌려
봐.
말하기
파는 놈이 알지 파는 놈이 알겠어요.
아, 사는 놈이 알지 파는 놈이 알겠어요. 영자 누나. Okay, I think
영자들 봐. 파는 놈이 알지 파는 놈이 알겠어요.
so. It's from the famous 충청도 style of speech, which went viral back in the day after the entertainer Lee Youngja, a female comedian, reenacted it on a variety show. Like the sentence is something like, she was telling a story about a shop owner, like a fruit store owner, who was selling watermelon, and a customer asked for the price, but that the owner in a Chungcheongdo dialect says the one buying it should know. How is the one selling it supposed to know? And that kind of became funny at the time. And jhope is remembering that the meme.
놈이 알지 파는 놈이 알겠어요.
So it's 돌려 말하기. It's an indirect way of saying so that shop owner in that case wants the customer to suggest the price, which came out kind of funny. Like the one buying it should know the price. How's the one selling it supposed to know?
그게 충청도인가?
네, 너예요 그냥 돼지새끼 밥이나 주게.
Okay, so jhope clearly remembers the meme by Lee Youngja. So the customer suggests the price, like 5,000 won for the watermelon, and the shop owner allegedly said, 냅둬요, 돼지 새끼 밥이나 줄게. Leave it, I'll just feed the pig with it. So instead of selling it to you at 5,000 won, I'd rather give it to the pig as food.
매기는 그
됐어요. 그냥 굶어 뒤지는다.
조용조용히 약간 매기는.
그게 너무 웃겼는데.
진짜 취향이야 취향. 아,
근데 이렇게
So Suga found it very funny at the time, and
조용히 약간 매기는. 그게 너무
됐어요. 그냥 굶어 뒤지는다.
조용조용히 약간 매기는. 그게 너무
so I guess Chungcheong province dialect is known for like making fun of someone or criticizing someone indirectly without saying it outright.
그게 너무 웃겼는데.
진짜 취향이야 취향. 아,
근데 이렇게 지역
And Jimin says he loves Chungcheong dialect.
뭐 방언이 있고 약간 이런 게 사실 외국에도 흔한 일인가요?
맞지?
아, 외국
Each region has its own dialect, things like that. But is it actually common in other countries too?
외국도 있죠.
Yes, of course, other countries have them too.
그 저희 약간 그 저희 그
약간 하위 이런 거.
저희가 통역해 주시는 분.
Our interpreter, for example.
그 영어 그분도 약간 일종의 사투리라고 저는 생각해요.
I think that's all kind of dialect too.
아 억양이 있죠. 억양이 좀 특이하잖아요.
Because there's an accent. The intonation is a bit distinctive.
근데 그거는 내가 봤을 때 그 멤버들의 텐션을 고려해서 해주시는 게 아니지.
And Jimin says, I think she's doing that because she has the each member's energy level in consideration. And that's what I think too.
뭐 저기 남부 쪽 텍사스나 뭐 저기
어제
그런 사투리 이런 거는.
그리고 제가
So Suga is explaining how different dialects exist in the southern region in the states, like Texas, for example.
빼고 들어봤거든요.
어제
그런 사투리 이런 거는.
그리고 제가 2년 빼고
And here Jungkook is bringing up the instance where Taehyung brought up how there were fireworks the night before, like boom, bada, bum, 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 and the interpreter replicated that in really well while she was translating in English.
들어봤거든요. 저희가 형은 제인데 저희가 영어 하는 것보다
And apparently these guys were impressed by how the interpreter pulled it off. And yeah, Taehyung was laughing about it in real time too.
통역해 주신 게 훨씬 저희가
그런 사투리 이런 거는.
그리고 제가 2년 빼고 들어봤거든요.
And I tried listening without the in-ear pieces.
저희가 형은 제인데 저희가 영어 하는 것보다 통역해 주신 게 훨씬 잘 들려요.
And when we speak English, the interpreter 저희가 영어 하는 것보다
맞아. 되게 크게 해주시더라고요.
Oh, okay. So when we speak English, how should I even explain that? The interpreter speaking English, that's more audible, easy to hear than when we speak English. Of course, 남준, like except 남준.
확실히 빡빡 꽂혀요.
It really lands very clearly.
그렇게 말씀해 주시는 게
진짜
내가 2년을 빼봤는데 우리가 영어를 막 이렇게 하는 것보다 통역해 주신 게 훨씬
재밌게 잘해주시더라고요.
뭐요?
영어.
So Jimin is clarifying how he wanted to hear himself or hear they compare when the members say English compared to when the interpreter speaks English. And he says that, of course, he's talked about enunciation and pronunciation, how the translator is being more articulate when it comes to English.
I love you.
재밌게 잘해주시더라고요.
뭐요?
영어.
And Jungkook suggests Jimin to become more focused on enunciation and the tone.
I love you.
이 정도는 되게 잘 들립니다. 되게 잘 들립니다.
And if you do that, that will be very audible. That will come through very clearly.
실수한 것 같아요. 톤을 잘못 잡았어요. 땀 날 것 같아요. 참 다시 갔다
약간 이 톤 옛날에 지민이 노잼 시기 때 그 톤. 그거 되게 잘 들립니다.
And Jimin is so embarrassed for doing that just now.
방금 실수한 것 같아요. 톤을
I think I just made a mistake, he says.
잘못 잡았어요. 땀 날 것
톤을 잘못 잡았어요. I use a wrong tonage, intonation.
같아요. 참 다시 갔다.
I'm about to break into a sweat.
약간 이 톤 옛날에 지민이 노잼 시기 때 그 톤. 맞아.
This tone that he just used is the same tone as during Jimin's no jam era, no fun era, when he was not funny.
약간 우리랑 주파수 다르죠.
When we were on a different frequency, Jimin and the other members.
사과를 좀 빠져야 돼 이런 거.
초반에, 되게 초반에.
Yeah, like back in the early debut days.
야 지민아 근데 너 그거 야 씨.
와 형 진짜
야 그냥 이름 바로
진짜 내가 근데 꼭지가 너무 잘 보인다 진짜.
아니 그러면
So I guess outside the frame, Jimin took off that jacket, RM's jacket that he borrowed, and they are paying attention to how he looks. And RM says that your nipples are very visible. We can see your nipple very clearly. Too clearly.
그냥 옷 조작만 하면 되지.
눈이 4개가 달려.
And Jin points out, why did you have to go there? Just say the outfit looks good. why did you even bring up the nipples?
아니 야 씨.
와 형 진짜
야 그냥 이름 바로
진짜 내가 근데 꼭지가 너무 잘 보인다 진짜.
아니 무슨 그런 얘기까지 아니야 그냥 옷 조작만 하면 되지.
눈이 4개가 달려.
Oh gosh. 눈이 4개가 달려있어. It looks like you've got 4 eyes. Again, referring to his nipples.
너무 잘 보여.
야 근데
That's too visible.
눈 씻어.
나 요즘 술을 잘 안 먹으니까 이거 먹으니까
아래를 보고 있어요.
아니 내가 좀 심쿵한 거 같아. 근데
웃어.
야 뭐 집에 보안 있냐?
야 키 커졌다 야.
자 우리 그만까. 자 이게 진짜 안 걸려. 여러분 자 지금 AMA 감사하는 자리에서 못 들어가는 거예요 지금. 자
왜 아래를 보면 눈 씻어.
나 요즘 술을 잘 안 먹으니까
왜 아래를 보고 있어? 아니 내가
나 요즘 술을 잘 안 먹으니까. Jimin said, lately I don't really drink. Maybe it is saying that he's sweating right now because he's drinking champagne.
내가 좀 시무룩한 것 같아.
애가 좀 시무룩한 것 같아. So it sounds like Jimin got a character drawn on his innerwear that he's wearing, like innerwear, like a tank top, which is why Suga says 애가 좀 시무룩한 것 같아. The character or the whatever he's referring to looks pitiful or looks sad.
근데
웃어.
야 뭐 집에 보안.
웃어 smile
야 키 커졌다 야.
키 커졌다. Got taller.
자 우리 그만까. 자 이게 진짜.
Yeah, that's my guess. You know, Jimin just took off the jacket and his nipples are clearly visible through whatever he's wearing inside the jacket, like a tank top, for example, and there's a character drawn on it, and like the face kind of looks sad, because I don't know, Jimin is like flexing his body or something, whatever, and apparently it was so funny for the members.
안 걸려. 여러분 자 지금 AMA 감사하는 자리에서 못 들어가는 거예요 지금. 자 일단.
Yeah, Jimin says, 그만할까? Shall we wrap up? And Namjoon says, we're supposed to be celebrating the AMAs. What are we all doing?
너무 고맙다.
그러니까 AMA에서 전국지가 간 거야.
And there we go. Jungkook basically summed up this Weverse live stream. We started with AMAs, and we went from the AMAs all the way to nipples.
너무 디.
Jin, no need to bring up the word nipples.
디테일하게 그래서 생겼잖아.
You're being way too detailed, J-Hope says.
번째 눈이라고
자 인사드립시다 이제. 아마스.
Okay, it's a white t-shirt.
너무 디테일하게 그래서 생겼잖아.
So whatever is going on the front of the t-shirt is funny.
네 번째 눈이라고
자 인사드립시다.
Jin says, 네 번째 눈이라고 합시다. Instead of saying nipples, we should call it the fourth eye.
이제 아마스 너무 감사드리고 남은 투어 일정도 저희 잘 마무리하고 한국 돌아가겠습니다 여러분들.
They said amas, referring to AMAs, and it says, we're so grateful. We'll finish out the remaining tour and head back to Korea.
아 그리고
너무 재밌네. We're having so much fun.
투어 일정도 저희 잘 마무리하고 한국 돌아가겠습니다 여러분들.
나 너무 재밌네. 아 그리고 그대로 술 한잔 더 할까?
아 그래요.
And should we just have one more drink right after this?
마지막 잔하고
자 막장하고.
Let's have a last glass and let's say goodbye.
인사드립시다.
자 막건하고 막건.
나는 왜 이 시간대 갑자기 확 오냐.
아 너무 맛있는데. 너무 힘들어. 아
Suga says, why am I getting all so sleepy right at this hour? It's hitting me so hard.
나 진짜 행복하다.
12시까지 참아야
Jimin says, I'm genuinely so happy.
돼 지금.
Suga, I have to hold out until midnight.
웃음이 멈추질
배가
않아.
너무 고파 지금.
웃음이 멈추지 않아. I cannot stop laughing.
자 여러분 건바이.
그거 왜?
Jin and Jungkook are.
야, 감사합니다.
Jimin is bringing up the topic of roller coaster again.
아마스. 다시 눈동자에 건배.
여러분들 사랑합니다 진짜로. 진짜 너무 사랑합니다.
그래도 마지막으로 가까이 와서 한 번씩.
Said, love you and thank you.
그래.
And before you wrap, let's get closer and say goodbye.
아예 제가 끌게요. 건배.
Let me turn it off. Taeyong says.
자, 고마워요. 감사합니다 여러분들.
잠시만 인사하자. 형 인사하고.
아니 그러니까
Let's
내가
say
이렇게
goodbye.
해주려고.
Yeah, I'm holding it like this.
감사합니다.
That's a good idea.
감사합니다.
덕분에 아주.
감사합니다.
Nice.
끝.
All right, the end. This might have been one of the most chaotic Weverse lives. I can't even speak clearly right now. One of the most chaotic Weverse live streams this year and last year. And it's so clear that these guys were having so much fun and so happy. Like, look at their face expressions. Yeah, and seeing them happy makes armies happy, and it makes me happy. I hope you had fun. I hope you were able to follow through this video. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. A lot of great stuff. Feel free to write comments in the comment section. What was your favorite? What was your highlights? Let's see. Like, Jimin was being funny, like a comedian, and they were talking about his hair. A lot of memes were discussed, and they were talking about Busan quite often, quite a lot. What they want to do in Busan, and yes, I don't even know how to end this video. Feel free to leave comments, and when you write comments, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys, and congratulations one more time to both BTS and ARMY. Peace and love. Bye bye.